Watch this.
Oh, hallelujah.
Get up right now.
I'm hearing something real powerful for someone. And now listen to this. Hallelujah. Said that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was. Yes. Listen to this right here.
I heard then, it was like the Lord spoke that through me then.
Oh, there it is. Get up right now.
There it is again. Hallelujah. Said that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was.
I like that, don't you?
Make a vow. Make a vow.
Amen.
Make a vow. Make a vow. Get up right now.
There it is again, so strong.
Oh yes.
Said that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was. Amen.
When your timeline reaches its Armageddon, what's a kid to do?
I'm not a...
Snag the keys to your mom's experimental ship, of course.
That's not quite how it happened.
Drift aimlessly in the rift between dimensions, trying to figure out how to operate it.
Now hold on a sec.
Pick up a few hitchhikers,
Hi!
Hello.
and maybe solve a disturbing mystery that could lead to the destruction of reality itself.
You know, if there's time,
There's always time.
I'm not so sure about that.
Get in on the adventure with the Rift Riders on Indiegogo.
Welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bacon Nation.
Good morning.
That's the best dynamic voice I've got right now. That's it.
Yeah,
That is what's in the barrel. That is what you get, guys. That is what you get. Yeah, man, it is a good morning. Decided to play a little Hubaba Conda this morning. I don't know what it is about that little tune. Whoever made that, man, I need to be their friend because they deserve my friendship. You make gold like that. You deserve. You deserve to be Luke's friend.
That just.
My favorite part is that trust you to do it. That part, I love that part. Trust you to do it. I love it. It gets in there. Like,
it does come in handy because it reminds me to go to the bathroom before the start of the show. He's like, "Everybody, get up!" Oh yeah, that's right.
Get up! Oh, get up! Oh yeah. I better go empty. I better go empty the tank before we get this started. Yeah, because Nerd Bacon started out as a 1-hour morning show that lasted all of 0 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever cut it off at 1 hour.
No, we've never have. And so we thought, we'll go an hour and a half, and then we wound up going 2 hours. And we're like, we'll just make it 2 hours, and we started going 3 hours. And I draw the line at 3. I cannot be in the chair longer than 3 hours at a time. But that is how it is. I mean, we are 34 episodes in.
Yeah.
34, I think.
34
That's
weeks
34
of Nerd
weeks
Bacon making your breakfast
of doing
complete, mental nutritional value. That's what that is.
Yeah.
If you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
It's not a lot of streaming, but it's a good amount of streaming, you know?
I've got a good suggestion for one of your little bump clips.
Oh, yeah.
Bonser Bokel.
I do, yeah. Great guy.
He did a great intro video, and I need to trim it down, but where he's talking in character about the Association of Ishtar, and he mentions his Discord, and he goes, I come to our Discord where he just pauses dramatically, goes, stuff happens, pauses, and then goes. So just that him going, stuff happens with like the one eye piece and in full costume. I just need that, like,
that's what happens here. Stuff happens. And, I mean, let's be honest. People know what this is when they get here. They know what Nerd Bacon is. We talk about nerd stuff, nerd culture. We talk about stuff that drives nerds.
Yes.
Too. I mean, it's not just comic books and movies and games and the like. It's sometimes we talk about politics because politics affects us. Sometimes we talk about family because family affects us. Sometimes we talk about mental health because that affects us as well.
You know what? I just saw something skipping down into the comments. Dave at Genuine Comics. Dave Brink.
What's up? Welcome, Dave.
I was on
welcome.
the first ever of the now beloved series of Nerd Bacon, a true milestone in your existence, and we are deeply honored to help you reach that honor.
Yes. Yeah. I am so blessed that you are blessed by knowing me.
Follow me on Twitter at Ed Talker.
But we've had a pretty good week. Sunday was weird. So Sunday we were traveling back from North Carolina, and I get a message that my friend Cooper and my co-creator for Rift Riders and writer and editor for Hybrids has gotten on a pretty prominent YouTube channel. And so I was like, hey, congrats, guys. See, I'm one of those kind of guys. I like it when people win.
Yeah.
See that, Nick? That's where we're at. That's why Zim and I connect so well, because we just like it when people win. That whole rising tide thing, right? That Brian K. Morris talks about. I was pretty excited because Coop is doing this thing where he said, man, I got this idea and I just feel like it needs to be said and it needs to happen. And I'm like, well, be careful how you frame it because some people are going to do this. And so he went back and he did a lot of work, a lot of homework to frame this buy one, back one initiative thing in a way that is positive and that he says, we're so humble. Of course we are. We're the most humble show on the internet.
And anyone who says otherwise is wrong. No.
The most humble show on the internet.
We're the most humble show on the internet.
Yes.
Maybe not because we want it to be. It's because of the budget, darn it. But no, so we so he's got this.
Before you need it.
Please, bring us views. But we he's got this initiative that he wanted to do called Buy One Back One, where the idea is that you're going to be buying these books through crowdfunding usually, of these books that they're going to be successful. They've got powerful names behind them. It's a creator that that maybe worked in the mainstream or maybe has worked their way up through the indies, and that campaign is going to be successful. So that's a buy one. You're getting it. It's not a there's no question. He goes, and we need to help get eyes on smaller creators. He goes, I've got a lot of friends out there that are struggling to get funded and that are sub 10K and all these people. And he goes, there's money in our pockets for these people. Even though there's less money now, thank you, Biden. Even though there's less money now, I love it when I do that because I know I'm going to get a laugh out of Nick. But I always blame every president for everything. And I blame past presidents for everything. Yeah, I'm still blaming stuff on Truman, and I wasn't even alive during this president. Well, that's Truman's fault, right? They're like, how is it Truman's fault? I don't know, but the dude didn't have a middle name. He had to make up an initial. There's got to be something wrong there.
His middle name was S.
Yeah. Fake. Yeah. That's fake name. Like fake news. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. But he had this idea that what we do is we say we hashtag back one or buy one and then back one. Go find intentionally go look for a smaller creator, somebody less known, and look through the campaigns and see if one of them speaks to you. It's not an initiative to every dollar you spend on on one that you want to throw money away. That's not the idea. It's to give a shot, an audience, to somebody that maybe doesn't have quite the reach or the notice. So actively go looking for these campaigns, right? And so he framed it well, communicated it well, and there was still pushback. People still gave him a hard time about it. People are still giving him a hard time about it. Don't understand why. Don't understand, what
the answer you're looking for is because people are stupid.
That would be the answer I'm looking for.
Things.
I was trying to be nice, Nick.
You see, I have
people are stupid.
And Stuart the Sword Cat makes me happy, but that also kind of absorbs my nice. Where I'm comfortable now, so Honest Nick comes out, and reminding people I'll see you next Tuesday.
Like a supervillain.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
No, Mr. Bond.
They're stupid and they deserve to perish. Anyway, I escalated that quickly, didn't I?
It's a easy and simple concept, really. When you back one, you go look for another one that you like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's maybe not quite that fortunate, hasn't had that many views, hasn't gotten enough traction, gotten out there enough.
Yeah.
Last night on the Zimcast, I had two people like that. Both of them have campaigns that are way underfunded, that are really solid products that really need to be looked at.
Well, and that's why I like the people I associate with.
The cat's name is Stuart the Sword Cat.
Yep, this is Stuart the Sword Cat, short for Stuart's Orange and Cream. He used to come interrupt my sword fights, and he'd try and chew on my shoelaces while I'm trying to do demos and things.
That's a cute kitty.
And I just decided he needed to come in. So he's supposed to, yes, that's me, buddy. He's supposed to be being watched right now, but he can't quite hold the appeal Angry Birds has on an early morning. So I have Stuart the Sword Cat for a time, and he really wants my oatmeal. Every morning we go through epic battles of the cat wanting my oatmeal. Why he wants my oatmeal, I have no idea.
Well, because he likes porridge, of course.
I guess so.
Why wouldn't you like porridge?
But yes, you have my hand.
Yeah. But, so this simple initiative got the attention of a well-known creator, and he invited them on his show. And so I went in the comments, and I, was very supportive of my friends, and wound up getting an invite on that same show. And we got a chance to talk about Rift Riders in this initiative, and and how Rift Riders kind of fits in that. But we got to see what the power of a platform can do. There were 900 some people watching.
Yeah.
And we went from being a little over halfway funded to now just being less than $500 away from 10,000 on the Rift Riders campaign. This is now the most successful campaign that I have ever been a part of, and I am truly humbled for the opportunity to be able to do the hard work to get this book out to people. I think they're really truly gonna like this book. We are giving it our all on this one, holding nothing back with it. So, well, except for some spoilers and the rest of the story, because it's only 32 pages. We do have at least 3 books planned, if not more. So, pretty excited about it, and what a cool thing. So it's got me geared up to want to build a platform for people to use like that, So I will be doing the best that I can to help this channel grow and help engage you, the fine viewers. And speaking of the fine viewers, let's go to the chat and welcome those that are here. Now, I know there's several of you watching, so please, we are streaming over a few different platforms this morning, a couple less than what we normally do. Facebook is being a little punk. Facebook might actually just go away, and we might just start streaming solely to the YouTube and to Twitch. Not to Twitch that it brings anybody in, but it does create content over there. So, pardon me.
Well, never do anything for just one reason,
Yeah. That's what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. Let's welcome everyone in this morning. Get comfy. I love how how you do it. Come on, everybody. Come on in.
Yeah,
Have a seat.
come on in.
There's room at the front. Come on now. Yeah, come on in, guys. That is so.
Your pastor's showing. There's room at the front.
Yeah. Yes. Listen, I mentioned on our last one, it's like, that's not church, guys. It's not church, guys. You get. Yeah, it's what I love that. I won't take Zim's thing, but no, come on in, get settle down. Let that screen rest for a minute. You don't need to keep scrolling along. Check this out for a little bit. Listen, while you work, this is safe for work, so you can have this on while you are turning the wrenches there, working. Have the phone set up in your toolbox. You can have it at the office and let your coworkers listen to the tom that will ensue over the course of the next several minutes. You can even let your kids listen in. If you're walking around the house and doing some work, turn us on, turn us up, because we are going to talk some crazy stuff. If you are available, please join us in the chats.
Yes.
Talk to us, because you are, whether you know it or not, you may not be on the panel, but you are part of the show, and you're probably the most important part of the show. Otherwise, it's just going to be 3 or 4 guys up here just chatting about whatever we want to chat about. But you get to steer the chat today in the conversation. So welcome. We've got Empyrean Vol. I always thought that Robert Tilton opening, he always liked it. Laugh at it. The memories, man, I'm telling you, it's good stuff. We've also got with us today, we've got Dave Brink. Hello. We've got Nita. Nita Lanning is with us today. We've got Hojo. Hojo's working on a great book, and I cannot wait for you guys to see this thing, and it's going to be very, very cool. Very cool. Who else we got today? We got LA in the house. Salute. I watched the stream live. Saw the numbers climb. Yeah, it was really, really awesome, dude. Lakeem and I are working on a project together. He is the colorist for Chrome Dog now, which which is an Arrow Comics book. This Saturday, catch Randy and I and Justin, the writer of Chrome Dog, will all be at the Bowling Green Con in Bowling Green, Kentucky, at the Corvette Museum. So that's where we will be. Where will you be? Hopefully you will be near us.
This Saturday, I will be from 10 till 2 at the Benton County Public Library, both taking part and partially running FezCon.
FezCon!
FezCon this Saturday.
FezCon this Saturday.
Where a bunch of the local artists and authors are coming together to have a nice little book show at the library and promote both, our works, and that, guys, you can create your own stuff. You can actually do this. And that's why shows like this are so important, because anytime you have a show like this, there's someone hiding in the comments who's too bashful to come forward right away, but they want to learn about creating comics. And when you look at the the system that the big guys tell you have to do, it's not a dream. They're like, it's not. You don't even dream it. You can't get in.
You didn't go through the proper channels.
Do
You
you
didn't
know?
go through the proper channels.
I got in more trouble for trying to write comic books, literally write comic books throughout middle school and high school, than dang near anything else. I mean,
Right.
that's what I got caught for. I'm stone cold serious, and they told me, "Oh, you're wasting your time.
Yes,
You're too." It's a horrible media. Back then, they thought all comics, especially anything anime style, was pornography.
It's the devil. It's porn. It makes people stupid.
Yes.
It's a waste of. Why would you want to waste your talent on comics? Why? That's what I got. That's what I got.
I'm 40-something years old, and yeah, it's funny.
You could be a fine artist, Luke. You could be an architect.
You could do something with. God.
You could be a contender. Oh, wait a second. Wrong movie.
But
I've told that story before. My dad dragged me out of the house to a bunch of people going through and digging out the ditch. And he said, I'd rather see you doing that than drawing your comics.
I'd rather do that than not be drawing comics. I'm telling you. I mean, if I can't draw comics, I don't know if I want to do anything else, really. I did like pastoring for a while. I did. I enjoyed that. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to say something that's very unpopular. I'm very happy to not be in charge of people's eternal souls right now. That kind of like hall monitor thing. That's what people don't realize about pastors. Like, you worry about people's choices all day long because you want your congregation, your flock, to succeed in life, but also to have joy and to walk a righteous path. All of those things, and it, like, man, it is.
That's if you're doing it right.
That's if you're doing it right. Otherwise, you just want their money. Or I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
That works. That works here, doesn't it? Sadly, that works. But you know what? We do need to talk. We do need to talk about the main event. No, real quick. I broke Nick. Like I broke.
I'm sorry, that one got me. Oh Lordy, Lord Almighty. That one got me.
My gosh! Look what happened. Look what happened.
Somewhere between that and jumping straight to Johnny Cage going, I am.
I am the main. So yes, Facebook has been throttling the crap out of the Indie Comics Network, and they've been throttling the crap out of the Luke Stone Studios channel. They have been throttling the crap out of indie and small-time creators. If you don't have advertising dollars, they don't want you. They don't want you. They don't care for you. It's exactly what Diamond did to indie comic books in the green section back 15, 20 years ago. I'm a preach. See, I may not be in the church on Sunday preaching, but I still got a platform. And I still got a message. Can I take up an offering? Can I get a super chat?
And be careful to use your powers for good and not evil, Luke.
Yes,
Man,
use my power.
I just watched you sashay right up towards the edge of the dark side.
Right towards the edge of the dark side.
I am the one who knocks.
It's gone. All right. Anyway. All right.
Yo,
but let's talk about the main event. Welcome, Johnny Cage. Johnny freaking Cage.
Hi, Johnny. I spend my Thursdays as the Jiminy Cricket trying to keep a pastor who doesn't pastor from falling to the depths.
Yep.
And I'm still better rendered than that Disney movie. Anyway.
Right. You're still better. So here's the deal. I got it. Man, that was like a boom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was a on Disney right there. Yeah. Let's give them the salute, guys.
Yeah, that's been about the last half dozen of their films.
Yeah.
Oh,
afraid to
go.
say.
Hashtag Nopus Pocus, but
Oh, Nopus Pocus. Ooh, Nopus Pocus too. Wise Guys Entertainment is here. Welcome, buddy. Good to have you.
Yeah.
And the great Pedro Ang. Pedro, if you want a link, let me know. I'll send it over to you. Good morning, ladies and gents. Hail the bacon. Hail the bacon. We got Geek Avenger here today, one of our channel members. You too can become a member. And whenever we get a new member, the bird dances. That's all we're going to say. Hail all beautiful, deplorable comics geek savages in the chat. Hail mods, hail Luke, and hail Baconeers. We do have some deplorables in there, and I'm sure some of you. I heard that somebody that I'm friends with got a ban on Twitter for sharing a picture of their cousin or their friend at a certain event on a certain day in January, and that is all I will say. Because I don't want to be taken down.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, Twitter.
Oh, the twit.
That's full of hate.
But Musk bought it. Musk decided to go ahead and go through with it,
Did
huh?
he really? I hadn't heard if that had been confirmed.
I think he offered to go back to his original offer.
44.
Yeah.
44, man. I'll tell you, if I had that much. I don't know if I'd buy Twitter.
It'd still be fun.
I really
spending,
hope,
pocket change.
Yeah. I mean, if you had 44, just the $44 billion. Sorry, that's ugly money. It's hard for me to say. Like I get
Hamalana.
over $44. You know that's my universe right now. $44 is a lot.
I can't even afford to go to Wendy's. I'm sorry.
With
Nick,
that kind of money, that's like you could do so much. You could do so much. You could do an electric car company that didn't suck. You could.
Hey, he's trying, man. Hey, he's
trying.
They're getting better. The problem is they keep throwing.
Lock you out because it doesn't like what you're doing. No, thank you,
dude. They are throwing so much technology at that. Did you know they're using the same AI? Now they're making a robot. So a year ago they did a robot, and it was a dude in a suit. And this year they actually brought the robot out, and they expect within the next 6 to 12 months that they're going to have people for less than $20,000 can buy a slave robot.
Yeah.
To do their work for them.
Yeah.
I saw that movie. I don't like how it ended. It's called Terminator.
I was going Will Smith.
iRobot, same thing, man. I'm like, either way, I see how this ends. What we need to do, he says the battery will last about 8 hours. Well, what we need to do is we need to put them on an extension cord that's only about 6 to 8 feet long so that they can't chase us.
See,
put them on a leash, in other words.
Yeah.
No, you know what?
It's like a rabid dog.
I have trouble being scared, even though I've known about a lot of this technology way ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I've worked around computers since the Commodore 64 was your new home computing solution. You know what I mean? And I have absolute faith in their ability to crash and burn so hard that I don't see the reliability being there to make them a threat for any length of time. I'm sorry, that sounds silly, but yeah, every piece of technology is built with incorporated planned obsolescence anyway. They build it to break in X number of years so that you have to buy a new one. It's not like it used to be. Now, if they started building the robots like, a 1948 Chevy or whatever, that you could park outside, shoot it a couple times with the 38 and drive on down the road like nothing happened, then I might be concerned. But it's all going to be Taiwanese plastic anyway. And if it can mow the lawn and do the dishes for my gimpy self, hey,
I'm not saying I won't buy one. I didn't say that. I'm just going to keep an eye on it.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, because at best, it's the Jetsons, like RJ says. Welcome, RJ, by the way. At best, it's like RJ says, and it's it's going to give me some smart mouth bad attitude. I can handle smart mouth bad attitude. I mean, I've got Beth and Corey around. They keep me in check.
Let's be honest, folks. We all know where robotics are going to go for personal enrichment. We'll put it that way, because I have to keep.
Yes. I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
Exactly.
Is this clip going to get a lot of use today?
Probably. But there's some people that's really going to help. And maybe, just maybe, the people who are online raging because they're just pent up and really need some, personal time to vet the stress, will calm the heck down. I mean, that might be what's wrong with a lot of the people.
Okay, so you brought it up. Online raging, I gotta talk about it. I just gotta talk about it. Oh.
Emotional damage!
Have you checked out Mark Brooks' rant on the internet? Oh my gosh. This guy invites several former industry pros to fight him at a Comic-Con. Brags about going to an MMA gym and working out. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh.
I am a man of my word, and I tend to hold people to their word. I would love for at least one of them to get, okay.
Let's do it.
Excuse me? Let's do it.
50 years old. They're not going to fight.
If you're going to be a geriatric dude trying to start a fight like a teenager, you're going to eventually bump into the wrong geriatric dude who's going to be okay. Let's set up. Yeah, see? Release. That's the word I was looking for. Let's set up the ring at Comic-Con and just get the sock and boppers out. Get the big inflatable, dorky, oversized boxing gloves out. Give them some mouth guards and let them put their money where their mouth is. If you're really going to go, fight me. Okay, bro, what sword do you want to use? You pick. I get to pick the weapon.
Hojo is a fantastic writer. In fact, he's the writer of Luke's 3 rules. You guys know the rules. Say them with me. Number 1, I don't care. Number 2, why not? And number 3, my favorite, #uncancelable.
Please do not confuse Luke's 3 rules with the 3 laws of robotics, or else we will have an uprising in 0.3.
Very simple. But Mark is changing his name to Violent Beauregard. Oh my god. This dude gets blue in the face.
He's back with the folding chair! Douche!
I'm telling you, this dude gets blue in the face, screaming at Ethan, and Ethan is laughing about how mad he is. He's like, you're so mad at me. He's like, look, so it turns out Mark is mad because he thinks that Ethan has a bunch of sock accounts that he is harassing Mark with, right? Well, the truth is, if everybody thinks Ethan is the narcissist that he is, well, the narcissists don't do anything under an assumed name. They do it all so they know. They want everyone to know what they do, right? So he's like, look, he goes, here's the deal. Because EVS says he's a little, arrogant. A little. He goes, but he's like, look, I do everything under my own name. People know who I am. He goes, well, if I'm going to say something to upset you, I'm going to do it. So he goes, you're upset about something that's not true, right? He goes, but I'm upset because you mocked my 6-year-old autistic daughter in a private chat with people. That's what I'm upset about. Oh. And other people are upset because this guy went after their family members. You don't go after kids and wives in any industry. If you got a beef with someone in your business, you got to beef with them and them alone, right? Yeah, if Nick and I start having a problem, there are 2 things I don't bring up. I don't bring up his wife, and I don't bring up his son. Yeah. And you know what? I'm not even going to go as far as bringing up his cat either. Yeah. Because that's off limits, man. Those things are off limits.
On one level, it's a simple matter of good form. Because I'm going to make fun of you for your family is childish, dickish, cowardly, underhanded, scum-sucking behavior. I don't care who and what you are. I don't care if I agree with you on everything you say. You pull one of those, and I'm going to give you, a piece of my mind that's both sizable and shapely. Now, if you the other thing is, if you can't come up with a better point to argue with me, and you really feel the need to argue, that you have to attack my family, you have no foundation to speak on. That means you have lost any. I have no respect for you, and you obviously have no point of value.
Here you go. Talking about blasting here.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
Yeah. Now,
Pedro Ang!
Pedro Ang in the house. Hey.
Yeah, dude, that was.
There we go.
Funny.
Man, yes. Picking a fight, man. 50 years old. Okay, so let's just talk about this for a second. He's 50 years old. He has put on some weight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I am not here to fat shame. EVS a big guy. I'm a big guy.
Chunky Monkeys Unite.
Chunky Monkeys there. I'm a little less big than I used to be. Pedro's not really a big guy.
I'm
fit
tall.
guy.
I'm tall.
You're tall. You're a fit guy though.
Yeah.
Fit guy.
I'm at 225 and.
Oh yeah. You're good.
I'm
yeah.
good. I'm good.
I'm at 255, 260 now. I need to pull back now.
But that's manageable.
Yeah, it's manageable. But
behind my curtain.
I was 285. That was doing pretty good before I got sick. I was down from 315.
Wow.
So I was big at one point. Yeah. And I know Randy had you were a bigger guy back in the day, weren't you?
I was a lot heavier than
Yeah.
The last time I weighed myself, I was 340.
Wow.
So I went down to 240 really quick. Now I'm back up to about 280.
Stuart.
Yeah. But I have a deep love of food.
Yeah.
Me too.
But how tall are you, man?
Yeah. And not having to be able to eat for about 3 months, I kind of whiplashed back a little hard on that, especially on the.
Randy's about 4.5 feet tall. No, I'm joking. No, Randy's about 6 foot tall.
3'5". Come on.
I make no shame. I'm a fat, furry little man. Like I'm about 5. I'm 5'8" on my long leg, and I'm clocking in around 330 most of the time.
Dude, I mean, okay, 5'8" is not short. Okay.
In America, it's short, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
mean,
I don't know what it's like down there. I don't know what tall is there.
In Latin America, he'll be an engineer. The people are short here.
Oh yeah,
dude.
He's a giant. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, 5'8". Yeah, dude. Like
He's
here,
giant.
like getting a lady that
call him
can like
Pedro.
dance with me without like kissing my nipples directly, it's really hard.
Geek Adventure is built like a panda.
You say that like it's a bat. I'm sorry.
I understand what you're saying.
Dude.
I often joke that I'm built like Poe. My inseam is 30 inches, but I'm 6'4". I've got a long torso, chunky belly, and short little legs, man. And my arms hang down like a monkey.
Oh, that's Star Wars Cantina proportions, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's me. That's me.
Everything works, man.
And somehow I managed to land a gorgeous girl. I don't know how.
You see,
it's because I'm funny.
No, you know what? That's aspirational, dude. Like I do stand up in Spanish because I'm hilarious in Spanish, and I'm doing a routine.
I love that.
I kill it in foreign language.
I kill it. I kill it
in Spanish.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, dude, like I'm doing a bit on, dude. Like people equate ugliness with sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bullshit, man. Like you can have like an ugly family and be very happy. You're just like hard to look at, but dude, like you have your kids and you have your little alien looking kids and your ugly wife and you all drive by a Nissan Cube and go to the beach. Like it's a wonderful life. It's just like it would be horrible to see you eat or whatever. So I'm like writing that and dude, like I'm getting really I like to piss the audience off.
You're
so
kind of funny in English too. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'll be here all night.
I'm getting the reactions I want because a lot of people get pissed off, especially other people.
Yeah.
We've been living a lie, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, not everybody's beautiful. A lot of these people.
Yeah, I was blessed with the face for radio.
Speaking of beautiful people, Nita's in the comments and she says this. Hey, I said I'd meet up with a punk at MegaCon, and the grown dude dodged me for 4 days. So I took some pics of myself sitting in his booth, and she did. And he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's the thing about the internet, the bravado in the internet. Like,
I'm telling you, I was rooting for her though. I was like, hit him twice for me. I was like, yeah, that guy deserves a good. You know.
Yeah, dude. But Mark was like blue in the face. Like I thought he was gonna pop something. You know, like, you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath. It's like, dude, wow, you're 50. Really? You're doing this?
Wise owns a Nissan Cube.
And be proud of that.
But so does Shane Davis. So does Shane Davis.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a charming, ugly car. You know what I mean? It's not a beautiful car. The lines are like cool. But
Welcome, T-Bunny, another one of our channel members.
There we go.
I'm pretty damn hilarious and Klingon.
There you go.
Well, you should hear me in old Entish.
Yeah, an old.
I'll tell you what, I did a 45-minute set, only told one joke.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You just say hi after like an
Yeah,
hour.
Come on, no one laughed. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Because old Entish, it takes a long time. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Screw
it
you
does.
guys.
The reason I didn't laugh was I'm like, it's
Secret-
too accurate to be funny.
Yeah, the
You know what
secret
I mean?
is
Like, yeah.
phlegm.
Then I
Secret
need
is
to learn
phlegm.
Klingon. There we are.
Yeah, and Hojo says, to be fair, Nita is pretty intimidating, though.
But in a good
I
way.
wouldn't mess with her. I wouldn't mess with her.
Hi, Stuart.
She could probably take me. I'm a big guy. She could probably take me.
Sorry,
I-
guys.
I-
I
the
was
problem is-
showing you my toilet, so I just closed the door.
Thank you for the toilet, Tim.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys. Are you ready for another star on your banner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, dude, this is like very political. I don't want to bring the things down, but dude, yesterday, the Southern Command was stationed in Panama for 100 years when you guys built the canal.
Yeah.
You guys left in '99, and then Panama became like wholly independent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They came back to visit yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like everybody's like, oh no, because the thing is like in the Panama Canal Treaty signed in '77, if the canal is threatened by war, the U.S. can come back. And now that the whole Ukraine,
there's the whole thing,
Well,
but there's also Russian and Chinese, was it Chinese or Japanese war vessels out off the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about this crap, right?
No, and
what
the
are we
thing is,
talking
like,
about? We're talking about.
There's a thing called Panama Ports that's owned by China, and it's on the Pacific side of the canal. So I don't know if the rumble's gonna start. Like, I'm far away enough. And but that's the thing. Like, people, oh my God, your sovereignty. A lot of Panamanians are ready to be American. You know.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, you know, we have a Commonwealth in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you do. And
So, I mean, you
thought
could
should
be a
have been
Commonwealth.
the 51st state. We're so afraid to go past 50.
yeah, exactly.
Because we'd
Because
have
we
to
gotta redo
rebrand
all
our
that.
flag.
We'd have to figure out how to make the stars fit.
Yeah. It's
I mean, it's a
ageism,
whole,
I tell you.
you know, it's a whole branding
I
thing.
think we have the solution to all American, or at least the vast majority of American complaints about immigrants. We just make all of North and South America.
We do what Britain did.
You know?
Exactly.
Oh
yeah, dude,
we just take over everything.
Dude, the thing is like, okay, like another like international perspective. If you see all the countries in Central America, part of South America, Panama is in a special condition because, dude, like we had like perpetual growth from ever since like you guys left.
Yeah,
we've been at double digits like PIB growth every year. As opposed to the rest of everybody, like people come here to work. We have like the circulating dollar, so our inflation is tied to yours. So we don't solve problems by printing money. And our banking is really solid. I mean, we have a lot of things like the Panama Papers or whatever, and corruption. Yeah, we're corrupt, but dude, you can live really well in Panama, and it's thanks to you guys.
There's a lot of the South. A lot of the South is corrupt. Heck, most of the big northern cities are corrupt in America. Let's be honest here. I mean,
yeah, dude. The whole thing of the Panama Papers is because Panama was eating Delaware's lunch for a while. You guys want that, like like LLC creation thing? That's in Delaware and the Virgin Islands, and Panama was a competitor. So it's like, okay, Panama Papers, let's get them out of it. But they couldn't. We're still doing it. But yeah, dude, like it was funny because like the Southern Command Network, like dude, Panama was so cool. You didn't even need like cable when you guys were here because we had like Channel 8, and that was like the Army channel, and you could see like David Letterman, you could see Jay Leno on the same channel.
Geek Avenger has a solution, guys.
Yeah.
Start upgrading stars from silver to gold.
Yeah.
And gold represents 2 states.
Oh my God. We're doomed.
It's done. Now we just
done.
take. Yeah. Now we're like, okay.
Stars.
Well, it's
See,
like then if you run out of
no.
states, here's what you do. You're like, oh well, we don't want to have a silver star. We want all gold stars.
Yeah.
So let's go make a new state. And
Yeah,
we're
just
like,
like-
haha,
yeah, like-
Canada,
Well, you know
we're
what?
coming for you.
Yeah.
All the stars are participation trophies for states anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And I don't know, like there's
look at
another
Michigan.
historical thing. Like,
Michigan,
Canada- what's that?
Michigan's technically 2 states.
Mm-hmm. No, and the things like
Yeah, we have
Panama,
upper
like
and lower
the
peninsula.
Panama Canal Zone was ruled by the laws of Louisiana.
Yeah.
So maybe they make Panama part of Louisiana or something. I don't know. It's just like dude.
That makes far more sense than anybody wants to admit. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
What make
Gringo's gonna gringo. I'm telling you, we really are.
Wait.
So here's everybody talks about
New
cultural
Orleans,
heritage.
the capital of Panama.
Right.
Welcome
Yeah.
to American geography.
Yeah, dude.
There you go.
The way I see it, dude, we're like 4 million people, so we're not bigger than a neighborhood.
Yeah.
We had the opportunity to fight for Panamanian sovereignty when I was 16, like when you guys invaded. In the dude,
Hey,
like,
when you guys invaded, yeah.
What
yeah,
you
you guys
don't know
invaded
is
in '89.
the 3 men
Yeah.
here
I
and
was
this
9.
cat actually invaded Panama.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
did.
okay,
We tried. I mean, we tried.
I'm gonna be more precise. When your government,
You're fine. I'm poking fun because
Yeah,
No, I mean,
government
just
we
invaded.
gave. Look. I tried, but I was only 9. So I mean, I couldn't even figure out how the guns worked. So I mean,
Dude, I was 16 at the time. No, but the thing is, like, people from the Panamanian Army came
1985.
to
I was
people
5. Sorry.
to 89, 85, 89 was not 85.
Oh, 89.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the guy that was there.
Mm.
I think if you were there, you might remember the day.
Yeah, dude. And the thing is, like, dude, like they came, like, okay, are you ready to fight for your country? It's like, dude, we're fighting for a drug lord. Noriega was a freaking drug lord. We're fighting for a status quo, not Panama itself. So the war lasted 4 days. It was a joke. I mean, it wasn't a joke. A lot of people died. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But
It's like,
Yeah,
it was a joke. Ah, funny joke.
funny joke.
People
Dead
died.
people all around it. No, it was a joke in regard of all the bravado before the invasion. Like, yeah, there's gonna be a sea of blood here. Like, no sea of blood. Like, you just came in. It's like, and that was it. And yeah, that's
Does
it. That's an
Louisiana
excellent
have
question. Yeah. I don't know. Like, they can come to Panama and learn them because we have a whole like catalog of. Yeah, dude. And the thing is, like, the invasion was 4 days. In a month, Panama was back in business. No problem. Because, dude, like, nobody wanted Noriega there. There was like a coup attempt like 3 months before the U.S. invaded, and dude, like, he just like killed all like his high command. So that's the thing. It was like, okay, when you fight for your country, what are you really fighting for? And that's something I admire of you guys. Like, you guys are like, yeah, America. Like, I can't go like Panama. It's like, I go like Panama and open a beer, you know.
Right. Yeah. So
Go
here's
to the
the
beach.
I
love
understand-
my country, but
I get it.
Yeah.
But there is something about hearing Jimi Hendrix play the Star Spangled Banner
yeah, exactly.
on a Stratocaster guitar
Mhm.
that just, I'm telling you, America. Mm.
Dude, you know what
Yes.
made me go America today? I saw a new edit of the horrible Superman movie where Superman is like a killer, but they put the original Superman music when he like went on flying.
Yeah.
Dude, I was tearing up.
The music, it gets it.
Oh
I'm telling
yeah,
you.
dude, it gets me every
And
time.
that,
It's like, wow.
that song, I'm proud to be an American,
Yeah.
where at least I know I'm free. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm glad. Yes.
Yeah, dude, I don't criticize that at all, man. It's
yeah.
just like it's amazing, and dude, like I've never seen like we get tourists from all over the place. I never hear everybody like "Go France!" Like, the French hate themselves. Like, yeah, France.
Now, okay,
It is what it
to
is,
be
though.
fair, I do hear Viva Mexico a lot.
Oh yeah, the Mexicans are.
They're very proud of their country. They're very proud of their heritage.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm all for that, man.
Yeah,
I think you should have. I think you should have pride in your culture and your heritages. I really do. I have no problem when people are like, I'm proud to. We have a lot of Puerto Rican people drive around with their Puerto Rican flags, man, and I'm like, you go. I love Puerto Rican people they've got great food, and their food's not very spicy, so I can enjoy most of it, right?
Oh, okay, if you
But
like
they are
Puerto
so-
Rican food, you like it here too. It's very
So
similar.
I was up in Chicago, and I was doing a mission trip with some youth. I was taking some youth kids from the church up to Chicago, and we were in this place called Humboldt Park. It's Humboldt Park, but the community calls it Humboldt Park. So it's Humboldt Park, and so we're over there, and I got to spend a week at a granny daycare. I don't know if you're familiar with these things. It's where they take the old people for the day to be taken care of, and then they come pick up their old people and to take them home for dinner that night and take them home. It's like it's a daycare but for your old people, so they have something to do when they're home alone. And so we got to go there and hang out, and I would play guitar. I would dance with them. They taught me how to dance. I did not know that I was being made fun of the whole week. They had given me a nickname, and I thought, oh, that's so cute and sweet, right? They called me Gordo.
Gordo. Oh, nice.
Gordo. And I was like, oh, Gordo. I don't know why they call me Gordo. It's because I was fat.
Yeah, Mexican abuela. That's Mexican abuela humor.
Yeah, they were calling me fat. But
Dude,
there was this guy named Paolo.
You want to hear a Latino abuela joke?
Sure.
This happens to the brother of my grandfather.
Fatty, yep.
So we're having like a cookout, right? And we're having corn on the cob, right? And my abuela's eating corn, like she's very like adamant that eating her corn, like. And it's like, hey, you didn't attack your husband's piece like you're attacking that corn. Like this one stays harder. And
it's not a compliment.
Yeah,
that was not a compliment.
Yeah, that's
I'll
the
tell
cool
you,
thing. That's the cool thing about getting old. You can say whatever the hell you want.
But I had a lot of fun playing dominoes with them, and and different. They taught me some other games and dances. There was this one guy named Paolo, and Paolo was dude. I'm
Palo
telling you.
means stick.
Palo means thick.
Yeah, palo means stick.
Stick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, he was a skinny guy. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, but he was boy. I'm talking. This dude was smooth. He would hit on all the ladies. He was dancing with all the ladies. They all loved Paolo, man. I'm telling you, they love that guy.
Dude.
And but no, there was. I made some friends, and I'll tell you, I'm sure many of them are not alive right now.
Yeah, dude. Especially Paolo. Like with the invention of Viagra, Paolo went.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
But he went the way he lived.
Oh yeah, he died with his mom.
Live hard, die hard.
Exactly.
Literally.
Wow.
Safe for work. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But no. So, but yeah. I mean, I think about some of these folks were old, and so I don't even want to think about the fact that some of them aren't with us anymore. I like to keep them alive in my memories.
Yeah.
Beautiful people, man. I'll tell you. They fell in love with the culture and the community over there. There's the largest population of Puerto Ricans outside of Puerto Rico itself was there in Chicago, right there. Whole neighborhood. It was. I would get street food. That's when I started getting real adventurous about street food.
So you had like mofongo, tostones, vaca frita.
There was this. I don't know what this one stuff was, but it was like. It looked like it was like pig fat, probably. But it was like it looked like onions at first. I thought it was onions.
Oh, chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
Yeah.
What is chicharrones?
Pig skin. Deep fried pig skin.
Well, no, it wasn't deep fried, because deep fried would have caused it to crackle, like crackling, like a pork crackling. No, I love pork rinds.
Yeah.
Okay, I love chicharrones. Okay, I love those.
Okay.
This was cold, and it was odd, textured, and did not taste good.
Okay, that would have been pickled pig feet. That's also they call it sauce. They call it sauce here.
Sauce.
Was it like vinegary?
Vinegary, yeah, and it was strips.
Yeah, it was strips.
It looked like onion rings, basically.
And you had like onions and cucumbers and like really.
It did, and it was on this deep fried thing, which I assumed was, some kind of. But it was like it looked like a waffle, but it was deep fried and poofy. And then they put hot sauce, some kind of sauce on it. It wasn't really hot, but no, didn't really care for it. Didn't really.
No, sauce is an acquired taste. That's when you know you're not
acquired,
gonna meet a woman later, because you get all sticky, like your lips and your hands and.
Now here's what's really funny. So everybody knows what pina colada means. Pina.
Yeah.
Pina means a pineapple, and colada means coconut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so.
No, colada would be like pass through a colander.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what piña colada is. But yeah, but it has coconut in it, the drink.
Yeah, but somebody, so one of the people they were doing, they were selling pineapples on their thing, but they were kind of far away, and they had a sign that said piñas, right? And this lady's like, what's a piñas? And we're like, it's a pineapple.
Yeah.
How do you know what that is? I'm like, because we know what booze is. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, it doesn't matter as long as you acquired information.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you learned something at a strip club, would that make the information less valid?
No. I guess not. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that have learned something at a strip club.
Yeah.
Zen, you got to tell your story about the strip club that you told.
Oh,
I got to hear it, man. It's just too funny.
Oh, yeah.
This is too funny.
I used to have a favorite. I'd go in there and play the bar game. You know, they had a console game that you could choose your game.
Pause for a second.
Sit there.
Leave it to Zim to go to a strip club to play a bar game.
Hey, we'll have priorities, man.
At this point, I was more than a regular there. So. I mean, I brought in my own music, and I almost DJ'd a couple times, that kind of thing. Had friends there. So I'm there playing the video game. One of the girls comes up and wedges between me and the wall. The game's in the corner of the bar, you know. So she comes up and wedges, and she's hiding. And I'm like, "You okay? What's going on?" She goes, "No, gotta hide." I said, why you gotta hide? That guy over there. That guy over there. I says, who is that? A relative? Is that a somebody you know? He goes, yeah, that's my pastor. And like I mentioned before, I think she ended up dancing for him at least once before the end of the night. But she got her courage up when she got noticed. But it was pretty funny. She was over there all, gotta hide.
But the pastor wasn't hiding, though.
No, he was setting up against. He was getting lap dance at the time.
He was getting lap dance.
He came in to enjoy himself. Yeah.
I don't know. That reminded me of a friend of mine. He's not with us anymore, and I remember him fondly. And the thing is, like, they used to call him Gordo Poroto.
Okay, so fatty
it's a
what?
callback. Fat bean.
Fat bean. Okay.
Yeah, because he was kind of brown. He was brown and fat, so they call him Gordo Poroto. And dude, Gordo Poroto was not only a regular at
not real good for self-esteem.
Oh, dude, this guy was a powerhouse of debauchery. Like, he was not only known at one strip club, he was known at every strip club. Like, wherever we go, it's like,
powerhouse of debauchery, band name called it.
Like, oh man, I was like, dude, like, how do you feel about that? Like, they know you, like, you have a theme song. Like, when we went to the second to last bar, he came in and the DJ went like, and he played like an Hector Lavoe. Like, Hector Lavoe is like a salsa singer, and like he played his song, like that's his entrance song to the strip club. Like, he's a celebrity. It's like, how much money has he spent here, man? And
I don't know if that's something you pity or you put into life goals.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But you've
got your own intro music at the strip club.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's Fat Bean.
Fat Bean.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And actually, they did the introduction like that, like a boxer. Like,
weighing in at 350 pounds.
Good
4 foot 9 inches.
Yeah.
Size 4 shoe.
He cries himself to sleep. Good boy.
He cries himself.
That's when you've made it.
Yeah, exactly.
His mother is disgraced. Welcome, Fat Bean.
Fat Bean.
But we love to see his face. Fat Bean.
Yeah.
Because when we see his face, we know his wallet is open.
Yeah, and you know what? He passed away like 4 years ago, but he has.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here making fun of a guy that's dead.
No. Hey, dude. I tell his kids his father's stories.
There you go.
And dude, and they laugh like, yeah, that's my dad.
See, there's this. I knew a guy. He went by Jafar when I was in the medieval reenactment group.
That dude, this guy. You're talking about a Disney cartoon.
Yeah, just bear with me.
Okay, all right.
No. This is a guy, and he passed, and everybody was sad, and a song came out about it. And the song was because he was not a sad person. He should have a sad song. So
Welcome,
it literally
Ice Queen.
was called Hooters. Show 'em if you got 'em. Hooters. So lovely and so nice. And the song keeps going. It's by a guy named Michael Encore. But, you know, there are people out there, and I hope to join their number by the time I die, that are known for not being sad people. So, like, you know, when I die, I always tell people, cheap funeral, you do what you got to do, but take the money you'd spend on it, come back next year and do Nick's Dead Day, pop a button, drink some Mountain Dew, game, have a wonderful time. Because I'm not about making people sad, so I don't want people, when they're thinking of me, being, you know, sadder than they got it. And a few people will dance on my grave. I understand that. I've stood for some things, so that's probably going to happen. But, you know,
we're
there's
all the
something
villain in
great
somebody's
about that,
story.
where you can just let go and go, I'm a goofball, but I know what I'm about. So, yeah, I don't know Fat Beans, but I respect Fat Bean.
Oh,
and,
dude,
like,
Fat Bean
I
was
think,
awesome,
Luke, you know, we're always looking for homage and background characters. At some point, we need to put Fat Bean in.
I'm gonna stick Fat
something.
Bean somewhere.
Dude, no. You know what? Something cool about Fat Bean? I'm reminiscent of a guy you don't know, but I mean, the cool thing about Fat Bean, once he got married, all that was done.
Oh wow,
Dude, he
that's
was
cool.
like an excellent father, just everything. But dude, like every time we did a cookout, dude, these stories would come out.
But
And
getting
it would
up
be
to
like-
that point, right?
Yeah. And the wife knew that's the thing. Like the wife knew he had that past, but dude, like that guy was just like the perfect husband.
What a sense of pride for her to be like, hey, I
Yeah.
settled down, Fat Bean.
Yeah.
I settled down that beast over there. You see that fat beast of a man over there? I tamed that. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, it takes an amazing woman to tame a man.
Oh yeah, dude.
It really does.
Hey.
Amen. Yeah.
Oh, God.
We're all sitting there thinking about it. Amazing
Fat
woman in
Bean.
life. Yeah.
Fat
Salute.
Beans. You know
Fat
what,
Beans.
brother?
Constantly reminded how lucky I am. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
My
Woman
wife fought for
over-
me while I
over
was
30
sick, man.
years who can put up with my shit. That's a special.
Yeah, dude. That's
right there.
dude. Women are amazing like that.
Yeah.
I'm alive because of her, man.
We are
She fought every step of the way to try to keep me
dude.
alive and get me better. And yeah, I'm here because of her, man. And I'll tell you what. Here's the other thing. In my dreams, all these COVID dreams that I had, one thing was there's a couple things that were that carried on from dream to dream. My physical state was the same, but also I was looking for my wife. I was looking for Beth. Like I was trying to find her, and you know, that was you know, even when I wake up, when my eyes are finally open, I just want to see my wife. I just wanted to see her, and I got real lucky. Got real lucky. I don't know if it's not luck. It's blessed. I was blessed. I was blessed. The Bible says that the word good is reserved for God only. That the only thing good is God. But yet it also uses the word in one other place. It says if a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So you take that for what it is. Not saying that your wife is God, but if only God is good, and you know,
Exactly.
and the Bible is
I believe a
generous enough
literal
to use that.
godsend comes to mind because
Yeah, they're godsend. They're your helpmate. Yeah.
I'm a day and a month from 20 years married.
Oh man.
And it just, you know, I am the perfect opposite of Fat Beans. Like, I am the absolute perfect opposite of Fat Beans. I didn't play around with anything. I
Oh man.
you know,
Yeah.
she's my entire history. Let's put it that way. I got a body count of 1, but
Hey, dude. As long as it was a good shot, hey, dude.
yeah,
That's all you need.
I snipered that, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, some people they say what they want to say, you know, but I'm like, I have watched marriages come and go in 20 years. You know, I've watched relationships come and go. We've been through like 5 homes. You know, she is the star I navigate by. You know what I mean? It's just.
Dude, like I married once. It lasted 10 years. I've been single for 7. And
Okay.
I have like several girlfriends, but I just got back with one, and I'm very happy right now. So,
Good.
dude, it's true. Like it makes you fight harder.
It really does.
It makes you feel better. It's just, dude, like doing it by yourself. Like you can do it, it's all right, but having that drive behind you, like somebody's got your back, you'll work better and faster.
Having a friend,
Yep.
having a friend along the journey, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It really is. Speaking of which, let's today's topic.
Okay, I want to talk before we go because Critical Blast just said something.
Yeah.
Nick goes in the strip club and is completely ignored. No, I will tell you the truth because I was friends with several strippers, and they wanted me to come into the club because I was the only one they could trust to dump a beer over them for St. Patrick's Day, and I declined because it would make my wife uncomfortable. But the running joke was my friends were afraid to take me into the strip club because by the time I was done, half of them would have called their parents. The other half would have been trying to get clean and
straighten up their lives.
Because I walk into places. The reason I don't go to restaurants alone is if I sit down alone at a restaurant, someone I've never met will sit on the other side of the booth and start telling me their life story every time. So it's like, no, Nick, you can't go in there. No, don't you ruin this for me. I've seen you do this. Remember what happened with the belly dancers? Like, what?
No.
They still dance? Yeah, but no.
I don't know if that happened in America, but belly dancing here in Panama became like a wife's activity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, we got some of those ladies. They're like, they're older. They should not be belly dancing, but they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. No, now we got this thing where people are putting stripper poles in their houses, right? And they're going to stripper pole workout classes. And I'm like, that's not called work. That's called training.
That's dangerous. Yeah. I don't want people seeing my wife shaking her ass like that. Like, and then this is it. Yeah, like you gotta let me do what you want. Like, would you like me to go into a chip and dale class? To do whatever. Like, show my misery to the world. Like, this is your misery, all right?
Yeah.
You get to enjoy it. Like, I just want you to reciprocate. That's all. Like, if you want to do it. But I might not be here when you come back. That's all.
I look at it as you discuss what you're about, and if you're open about it, and whatever, as long as I have this crazy thing that as long as it's consenting and it's adults, it's not my place to judge. It might not be right for me, and I may not be about it. But if y'all are happy, y'all are happy.
I'm only talking about myself. Like, if can live with that.
I just want to put that out there because
gotcha.
People get confused when we say, "Well, I don't like this." That doesn't mean you're not allowed to.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I think, because I'm not a part of any of the hashtag crews. I'm just Nick. I'm everywhere because I'm Nick. I can
Just
be
Nick.
everywhere.
Hashtag just Nick.
Yeah, basically. And people get this idea, well, they don't like this. Well, they said they like that. It's like, why is everything all or nothing anymore? Why if you that's like, you could like a hot dog one way, I like it another. Doesn't mean, oh, you're wrong. And I don't understand why we've taken that point of the trifling arguments over that sort of stuff.
It's crazy. Look, comic books.
According to Clint Eastwood, there's a wrong with hot dogs, and that's ketchup. I remember he's from the Deadpool.
He's diametrically opposed to ketchup on a hot dog.
On a hot dog.
I'll be honest with you. I like ketchup, mustard, and relish on a hot dog, and I like to throw sauerkraut on there sometimes, man.
Yeah, dude.
I like a Chicago dog, which they throw tomato on there. So I'm telling you,
they don't put ketchup usually.
They don't put ketchup, but they throw a tomato on there. So you're still getting your tomato.
Sometimes jalapenos.
Oh,
on there.
We're just four guys appreciating our
onions,
greasy sausages.
Yeah,
dude. We're just appreciating sausage.
Yep.
Right. That's what she said. Hold on a second. I got it for you. Where you at? I need to just put that on a button. I just need to put that on a button.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sorry. I make that joke, and as soon as I do, your sister pops up in the chat.
Hello, sis. How you doing? Good morning, guys. Kelly loves hot dogs. She really does, man. I tell you, we always love that. Pineapple on pizza. I've had it. It's fine.
You can be a heretic if you want. Like,
I'll take pina on pizza. Yeah. Pina pizza.
I don't know. I like pineapple like in its normal state, or like grilled with brown sugar and ice cream.
Right. I went to a Brazilian grill,
Yeah.
steakhouse, and they brought out the pineapple.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I don't want a pineapple. I was like, dude, you got to try the pineapple.
Yeah, you gotta try this.
Dude, I was like, I told him, I said, I'm going to turn this thing over to green. But all I want you to bring me is pineapple.
Yeah.
Like I said, at this point, because I was towards the end of the meal, I said, all I want is more of that pineapple.
Yeah.
They brought me, I think I ate like 5 more strips of that pineapple. I mean, I was like, I'm full. I'm stuffed.
Yeah.
Nick is like, holding it back. Just say it, Nick. Just say it.
No, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm trying to be good, Luke. I'm
Oh.
But I mean, a meal of pineapple's gotta make your wife happy. Anyway,
Bacon. Crispy or still oinking. I like limpy bacon. I like it a little limp. I don't like it when it's all brown and overcooked.
Yeah. I mean, there's a thing about crispy bacon and overcooked burnt bacon, and
Right.
some people like it that way.
There's
It's
a
like,
fine line.
Yeah, dude. No.
So,
I'm gonna say it as comfortably the fattest guy here. All bacon is beautiful, and it's just about what kind of bacon you're putting in what dish. You know.
but
what
let's
I
be
mean?
honest. I don't like Canadian bacon because it ain't real bacon.
It's ham.
It is ham,
Ham
lying
stuff.
about being,
Yeah.
lying about
wait.
being.
I
bacon.
There's only one thing I hate more than lying. Skim milk, which is water that's lying about being milk.
If you want proof of divine intervention in this world, of intelligent design, look at the pig, because only a loving God could create a single animal that has pork and bacon and ham and like the pork rinds, all the things that come from pig. I'm telling
Pig
you, that is
cheese.
a blessing upon.
Yeah, dude. Okay, are you familiar with the Latino ways of preparing pork?
Well, a couple. I do eat
I have
carnitas.
eaten much of it.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to pronounce it.
I like
I'm pulled
carnitas
my
al
gringo
pastor.
card to
Okay.
right.
Yeah, because there's a fight between Cuba and Puerto Rico who invented this. It's called the cajachina, which is basically a box lined with aluminum,
Yes.
and they slow cook the pork in there. The
Yes.
fire's on the top.
Yes.
Dude, that thing is, I don't know if it was made by Satan, because dude, I've seen people passed out they can't stop having it. Because what they do is like they grab the pork and they inject it with like
All kinds of good stuff.
shrimp broth.
Yeah.
Shrimp broth and salt. They do that, and then they put it on the
Nice.
box. They put like herbs underneath and on top. And dude, it's like 7 hours. And, dude,
I would have been a terrible
Tender,
Orthodox
tender.
Jew.
yeah, dude.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I love pork so much.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yesterday, I spent last
Biggest
2
hit.
days with the pork in the fridge marinating with my mix. Had the little barbecue out low and slow. Just smoke it for like an hour.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just smoke till it starts to crumble, and it's just. I don't know why, but when I get it right and I eat it, it's like it tastes like candy almost. I mean, it's not sweet, but my brain tells me this is candy.
Welcome, Blue Teddy.
And I just
I
want-
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to put my bacon. I like to do a little honey on
yeah.
my bacon. I'll do a little bit of
awesome.
honey.
Sure.
And I've got
Bacon.
this habanero honey that I bought.
Ooh.
So it's honey infused with habanero.
Dude, I have a
And it is
habanero plate down
delicious.
here.
I mean, it is delicious.
Yeah.
And so I'll cook bacon up, and right before it's done, on one side I'll just drizzle a little bit of that habanero honey on it.
Yeah.
And then let it caramelize in there a little bit, and then I'll throw that, and then I'll make biscuits, and I'll put a couple of those on biscuit with a little
dude.
extra honey, and that'll be my breakfast.
Okay, now that you're talking
Making me
habanero,
hungry.
there's this like rice recipe, which is basically you grab it's not bacon, but there's more skin.
I know what you're talking about.
So
Yeah.
you fry that, you'll make the rice and that, you put some beans in it, and then you grab a habanero pepper and basically put it in aluminum foil, and you put it on the rice. Don't let the habanero touch the rice, because it would be ruined, like it would be inedible. But you leave it in the aluminum foil and put it within the rice, and just give it like a couple of minutes there. It's the most fragrant, like porky, beany rice you'll have in your life, man.
Oh yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
You know what? It says, I'm going to tell you what. I am no discriminator. I will eat any animal. I will eat them all. I do. I eat them all. I've people like, hey, this is some weird animal that you've never heard of, and I'll give it a try. I don't care. I'm like, was it alive at one point? They go, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
Gator's good.
Would you eat iguana?
Oh, I love gator. Gator tail is amazing. Yeah. I don't think it's only the tail. I think it's all the gator. They just call it gator tail so that you're not like, oh, I'm eating an elbow. You know, it's
Shoot, I eat
I've
hot
had snake.
dogs. I know that's all the junk.
That's lips and buttholes, man. Hot dogs are lips and buttholes.
Yeah,
I don't even care. I don't even care. Welcome, Blue Teddy. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here.
Old rules. Old rules.
2 cents worth in there. Of course. Everyone's free to put in their 2 cents
gave
worth.
the rules update. Didn't say anything about pork. I'm so good.
If I eat bacon, beef, or turkey, chicken, bacon is what I prefer.
Oh, that's good too, though.
Yeah.
I like to, I think anything wrapped in bacon is pretty good. I had filet mignon wrapped in bacon.
Oh, yeah, that's
and I'm like,
best.
let's see how many
many
animals we can put together in one dish.
One of our favorite stops when we go up north is a place called Wienerlicious, and they offer what they call the Mackinac, which is a hot dog wrapped in bacon, covered in cheese in a bun. And the wife looked at it and says, "Don't you want to put more stuff on there?" I says, "It doesn't need any more than this."
No, that's all it needs.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
That's the thing. Like, it's cool.
I'm
that
feeling
it's
so
really far from your
patriotic
house.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, dude. You see, those are the things that make you go like, America.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know. Oh,
That's the way it is. So we're going to talk for a little bit today about how difficult making comics is, because making comics is very difficult, right? That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like when they get into it, they find that I think you think it's going to be easy. So I'll be honest with you. I bought ISOM #1, Eric July's book, and I read it yesterday, and I have some opinions about it, and I'll share those opinions in detail in a week or so once people have read the book and had a chance to. I don't want to give any spoilers away.
Yeah, still waiting for my book.
Yeah, but it is. I do have some. So I bought the book not to stick it to the libs. That's not why I bought the book. I bought the book because I thought the art looked good, and I was also interested in the way he pitched the story. He seemed very passionate about it.
Yeah.
And so I was genuinely interested to take a dive into this universe he was building. Right. That's why I bought the book, and I didn't buy the book as a simp, as they call him. I wasn't like, oh, it's Eric July, I got to buy the book. That wasn't the thing either. I am a fan of Eric's YouTube presence. I agree with many of his opinions, and I enjoy listening to him rant about many of the things that piss me off too. We all like that. That's why some people like to listen to me or EVS or other people. That's why they like to go to the Zimcast. Zim does a good rant. He needs to rant more. I'll tell you, he rants more. He's going to have better views on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. You got to rant more.
Right.
But people, they like to hear other people have an opinion that echoes theirs a little bit. And there are plenty of people that echo our opinions because our opinions are not that of the few like they might want you to believe. More people are upset and disenfranchised by fandoms that they love than people that are actually buying them and are happy with them. That's why everyone's going to manga.
Yeah, but they're disenfranchised not by the fandom themselves, but the guys who are producing, or in positions of power.
Corporations, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The people like Mark Brooks who are towing the company line, and they are trying to say how great Marvel is. When Marvel has a history of treating their artists poorly. That is why Jack Kirby left.
Dude,
it goes all the way back to Kirby.
Yeah, dude. You know what really broke my heart?
Three times.
Three times. Yeah, really, 3 times.
Yeah, dude. In that whole EBS Mark Brooks fight, when they were not respecting each other anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't stomach it.
Yeah.
And EBS just said, like, you're 50 years old and you're still working for Marvel. Dude, that broke my heart. It's like, dude, I know right now this is like all out war, like the gloves are up.
Yeah.
But dude, that cut deep, man.
Yeah.
That says something about what you've done with your life. Like, that's time you're not getting back.
Yeah.
So
like that.
I don't know.
That was a great burn. If you're looking at burns,
horrible burn.
But it's it's a really sad state that you're 50 years old, and you're still working for Marvel, all you've created is covers for a company that doesn't care about you.
Yeah, dude.
They will drop you in a second, and you're towing the company line, and you're getting in fights with people, and you're trying to go after their families so that you can have some kind of clout and hold on to what you've got with this company that does not care.
Yeah,
right?
and
Yeah.
Screaming from a sinking ship.
disenfranchised.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, he's screaming from a sinking ship because, dude, that circle is getting closer.
It really
and
is. And when you see
in-
people like
Yeah.
Irene leaving and coming over and making their own books, people like, I didn't know you were comics gay or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
of course she is. There's a home there. It's not the place that people say it is. It's not racist. It's not bigoted and all those kind of things. Pedro, you're a CG creator,
Yeah.
right?
And I will die CG, man. And the things like, yeah, it's playful. You hear things that are off color.
Yeah.
But you choose to be offended, dude. Like, I'm a black guy. I'm Latino. But I'm not made out of sugar. Like, dude, if somebody comes up to me and says, it tells me the N-word, I might look at him funny, but I'm not gonna call out the girl.
Well, in your culture, when they're calling people fat bean, and that's that
exactly.
name sticks. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you can't really get offended too easy. When
Dude,
I walk into a room and they're calling me fatty,
I was very skinny when I was a kid, and they used to call me cuchara triste, sad spoon. Yeah, because I didn't use it, and that was my nickname, dude. Like, I would be like in basketball like teams or whatever, and my jersey would say spoon, cuchara.
Spoon.
Yeah,
because you didn't use it.
yeah, because I didn't use it. Like, dude, that's a kid. Gave that kid a sandwich, sad spoon, dude, and everybody, dude, Keka.
It's funny.
Which translates to Keka with his own like big head.
But there's a whole generation where people got picked on a little bit. My son said something really funny. A few weeks back, we went to go visit my daughter while she was house sitting, and we were watching this video, and this guy goes, "Some people didn't get bullied enough, and it shows." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I'm raising," But I mean, I admitted that and you'll see it Sunday on the pre-recorded version of Sunday Funny, so definitely go check that out. I tell a story about how I pick on my kids and fun stuff. Yeah, they grew up getting picked on a little bit, but no, it was a sad state. So the point is, it's a sad state, and comics are hard to navigate on their own, and they start bringing politics into it, and people want to fight about families. It gets real personal.
You know what's sad about the whole like Ison comment? Like, dude, this is Eric's July first book.
Yeah.
But with the state of the politics and the infighting and all the like the tense environment we're living in, he has no leeway to fail or the book to not be like completely
right.
perfect.
But he kind of did that on his own.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: when you're a very vocal critic, your first offering has to be really, really good.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest; it was better than most mainstream books I've read. It has a lot of promise.
Yeah.
But it failed in a lot of ways. But it was a great first book. It was a great first attempt by a brand new creator. So the question is he going to be humble and say, look, it was my first attempt. I'm going to learn and grow from there. Or is he going to be like, no, it was perfect? Because
that remains to be seen, right?
Yeah, that remains to be seen. But I bought the book because I was genuinely interested in it. Not to stick it to anybody. I am a consumer. I wanted to read the book. I was interested in it. I had some issues with the book. But there is this difficulty out there. There is money to be made, but it is harder to make a book than what you think. Even the fulfillment and the printing and all of those things. And even at the end of the day, if you put out a really, really good book, someone may not like it subjectively, and there's going to be problems along the way. There's a lot of steps that are difficult. And you see, you don't really notice it until you do it yourself. But I've noticed some of the harshest critics are those that make nothing at all. Right? So I'm looking at his book, and I've got I've got feedback, but it's based on feedback that I've gotten about my stuff over the years. Because I'm well beyond my first book now. I'm not making Eric July money. But let's be honest, Ethan's not making Eric July money. Let's be honest, Marvel's not making Eric July money.
Yeah.
Mark Brooks is not, and I think that's part of where they get upset on the other
That's
side. That's
exactly where they get
why
upset.
why the war is out there,
Yep.
because they see the money going to places like that. And yeah, I see you, Geek Avenger. I see you.
We had the same problem back in the 80s when we started the black and white, what turned into the black and white boom and eventually turned into the black and white bust, because so many people came and took advantage of the system and brought in substandard crap that retailers were relying on, thinking it was going to be the next Turtles, and it turned out to be the next Turd.
Yeah.
You know, and then they got in over their head. Then Image started, and everybody ran to Image, and everybody abandoned. But between that time, there were so many great black and white books out there that were creative, ingenious, well done, high quality stuff that you never hear about anymore. You know, a few of them made it through. ElfQuest made it through. Cerebus made it through. You know, but you don't hear about the majority of the great books: Trollords, Fish Police, Realm. You know, all of these great books out there by great creators that just didn't make it. But when the black and whites first started raging, we had a lot of people, professionals in the mainstream, if you want to use that word, which I don't believe in anymore, because I don't think there is a mainstream. Like, and I'm going to drop a name: Tony Isabella. Yeah. Tony Isabella came out.
There you go.
All vehement against, if you're in black and white, you're not a real comic book. You know, that's exactly what he said. The CBG's got articles all over the place of him stating that if you're in black and white, you're not a real professional. If you're doing black and white comics, it's like, okay, you know, whatever. And look at, and the same thing's happening now with CG. If you're working, you're not doing real comics. It's like, no. You're not working on the corporate cog. You're not a corporate cog anymore. But I'm seeing, and this is part of the fun now with the crowdfunding platforms. People are starting to make profit. People are maybe not necessarily livings. They're making profit.
And this is what, and this is the other reason why they're
that
upset
is
with Eric.
so cool to see. So
they kept saying,
important
Eric, you're not going through the proper channels.
Yeah.
They used those exact words with him. You're not going through the proper channels. And here's the deal. Whether you like the book or not, he made a comic book and made $4 million on it. You know, he got some really good talent on that book. Eric Weathers is a great letterer, and he lettered that book. He's lettered my last book. Gabe is a great colorist. The colors in ISOM are fantastic.
Right.
The art in ISOM is really good.
Yep.
There's a lot of really good elements to it. Yeah. Even the story itself, it has some serious potential. The book could have gone with a story editor. It looked like there, and I will say one thing about it here, that it seemed like there was two different ideas that accidentally got played out in one conversation. So it was like, it was a little disjointed. And I was like, oh, an editor would have caught that for sure. And there were a couple unnecessary splash pages. I'm like, you know, that didn't require a splash page. would have reined in the number of pages that you printed, and would have, you know, but that panel right there in this fight, that should have been a splash page. Yeah. That was the one that you wanted to make big. It was things like that. If you would add somebody like this, would make the book a more dynamic read. There wasn't anyone there to do that.
Also, the cool thing about the alternative independent market, and now with all the crowdfunding, all of the books can evolve. You know, you don't have an editor up there going, no, this is the Marvel formula. You have to do this, hit this point by this page, do that here and there. You're going to have people that do imperfect works. But the key here and the fun, really, for me, is watching somebody get better.
Yeah. And I think Eric's going to get better with each one. I know he signed on Chuck Dixon to write for him.
There you go.
So you know those books are going to be very competent. I hope he gets somebody to edit those, or to at least co-edit with him, to make sure like he can be the story runner. But to get somebody that has made a few comic books and understands pacing and those kind of things that can help with those things, and more than copy edit, I think you might need some line edit. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the book has a lot of potential. Yeah. The universe has a lot of potential. The characters look cool, just introduced way too many, with to no effect for me. You know, not enough for me to really care about anything. I have one major gripe about the book, but I'll talk about that one later. And it has to do with the main character and his motivation. That bothers me a lot, you know, and that was a clear choice. Maybe that choice was intentional, but to bring that choice up in book one, may not entice me to buy a book 2. But let's sleep on it. I made an assessment yesterday. I still feel the same way today. Let's see how I feel in a week. And I'm going to give it a second read later, probably over the weekend, and we'll see, all those things, because I want to give it a fair shake, like I do any independent creator, because that's what he is. He's an independent, first-time creator who broke out of the proper channels and made a comic book.
Well,
All mad.
Let's be serious, though. Once you pass 7 figures, you pretty much made a proper channel.
Yeah.
You made a new channel.
You made your own channel.
But yeah, that's the thing.
And that's why it's ticking people off.
Yeah, but they're calling it the proper channels. And so here's the thing.
There's no proper channel. It's an art form.
Making a comic book is a difficult task in and of itself, right? Making a comic book, being successful at making a comic book is a whole other level of complication to what it is that we do. And the proper channels. See, here's the thing. When you used to pay your dues, what you did is you work on some small independent stuff. You go to all the conventions, have an artist alley table. You go to these conventions and you take your portfolio around of all of these sample pages that you've drawn, of other people's stories and scripts that aren't even yours, and then you go and take those things around and you beg publishers to work on stuff. And eventually, if you do enough work for everybody else, you can wind up getting a job working for one of the big 2, and you've quote unquote made it.
That's the way it used to work.
That's the way it used to work.
Yeah.
Then people said, screw that noise. I'm going to make my own comic book. And Eastman and Laird put together Ninja frickin' Turtles. The art is not something that would have been published in one of the big 2. The story is not something that would have been published in the big 2. So you've got all of these things, but this book is tremendously entertaining. And it sold. And it became a massive franchise. And people realized, you know what, I could probably do this on my own. And self-publishers started publishing. And then people started then the age of the internet came, when you can do comics on the internet. And then the ability to print color comics got easier and cheaper. And so now there are new elements into this that you can do it, but it's still very complicated. And it's a lot harder than what people think when they jump into it. Pedro, as a guy who's made comic books, what are some of the things that you've noticed? What are some of the elements that are harder than what you thought would be getting into the comics thing?
Oh, okay. Since I come from an animation background, the whole understanding printing processes, even though I've done printing before, setting up the pages, it wasn't difficult, but you have to be very careful when you do that stuff, because you don't want the whole like bringing back and forth with the printing thing. That was alien to me. And dude, the hard work, it's hard work, but I'm used to that. And it's not for the faint of heart. I've seen many people, they like to say they're comic book artists, but they can't deliver 10 pages in a month. So it's something that you have to,
more than 10 pages a month, yeah.
Yeah, it's something they have to put on the balance, like, okay, am I doing this? Then I'm doing this.
I think if you're a part-time creator, a couple pages a week. But if you're doing this semi full-time, you need to be able to pull out 10 pages a week.
Yeah, dude. Like, for example, I've been a freelancer ever since I hit 45 because nobody wants to give me a job anymore. But everybody calls me to ask, how do I fix this?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm a freelancer, like, through and through. Like, I'm no stranger to hard work and creating your own, your own schedule and keeping things on time. Because dude, when you freelance, dude, your word is your bond. If you say like, I'm gonna done by this day, it better be done by this day, or you're in trouble. So that wasn't hard for me when coming into comic books. When I did Tropical Magics, I was done with 72 pages in 5 months while doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, Tropical Magics is already printed. RJ has it. I'm already shipping the trading cards to RJ today. So we're going to start fulfilling as soon as RJ gets the cards. Okay, coming back to the thing. What was new to me was the printing. Because normally I would just do a video. They tell me, okay, I want an MP4, I want a .mov or whatever. I do the format, I send it, and that's it. But here with the printing and knowing what CMYK does to color and how to fix it, that was like the learning curve I had to. And
I'm working with a new printer, and we just got a bunch of new fresh prints. There's still a joke, and I haven't worked it out yet. So I've got we've remastered. We went ahead and got the remaster for the first 5 or 6 books, right? And so we're reprinting the floppies. I'm not doing them through crowdfunding. I'm just printing them, selling them through the website, and taking them to cons. And so we got that done, and I had to send him my files, right? And so I've sent him my files. I said, "Did you have any problem?" He goes, "Actually, no." He goes, "They were perfect." He goes, "Normally, I have to, talk with these comic book guys, and we have some adjustments and things we need to fix." He goes, "These were perfectly. They set up perfect bleed, perfect trims. Everything was just spot on with these files. I didn't have to do anything with them." And you know what? That came through years of experience of sending pages to printers and working with different printers and knowing like, okay, well, this is the machines they use. This is the system they use, because you will use something similar but different, right?
They fluctuate here and there.
Yeah, fluctuate. So you've got to like, well, how can I make a file that will universally be used? And so, I took a template from from like 3 or 4 different printers' templates, because they all would have different ones. And I found the one that was, what are the dimensions that are most common for all of them? And I found that dimension, and I set up my pages in a default. So every time I make a comic book, I just use those bleed settings. And so everything, as long as I stay inside those bleed settings for my art and for my lettering and everything, the books are perfect every time.
Yeah.
And so, but that's trial and error. That's something that you don't get to for a while. It's that pre-press stuff that you learn. But the other thing is learning like, okay, well, what printer do I use? Are they able, like, what kind of quality? Going through that whole step of finding the partner that's going to physically make the book for you. You're going to physically make this so that you can exchange money for comic, and people can read this and enjoy it. That step, finding that partner is so important, but it's very difficult because you may have to go through a few. And I've gone through several. There's one guy that I really like, Aaron Kane, and he's my default. I've tried other people. He's my default for professionalism and speed and quality. I mean, he is across the bar. He's across the bar my favorite.
Dude, like my professor, I have to do a shout out right now. Speaks Eddie. He did a session of videos just telling like, okay, how much GPI you need to work. This is the dimensions normally people use. So I use him as a blueprint. And dude, like when I sent the files, no problem at all.
Yep.
No.
Yep. His is pretty good. His bleeds are a little, because he'll use WebPress. So I have it set up to where if I send this off to full color process, it'll work as well as if I send it off to digital print. So
Luke,
yeah.
Geek Adventure has asked a question that I suspect several people watching this are wanting to know.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned that you have you basically have a magic formula. Are you willing to share said magic formula?
I am. I am willing to share that. So the page size in pixels, I don't use pixels. I use inches. But here, let me look. I'll just set up. In fact,
I'm sorry not to interrupt the flow, but
let me just
really into it. It's just when I see a question like that will really help a lot of people.
Yeah, let me just share my screen. I'm just gonna. So this is you guys can just see a little hint of what we're doing here. We just worked out the color scheme for Rivia for her regular costume for Rift Riders, which the art is underway for that. It's very exciting. Be sure to check out Rift Riders right now. We are less than $500 away from 10,000, which is a tremendous milestone for any creator, and might just make your boy Luke cry if I can hit that number. I just did not think that I would ever get there, and so it means a lot that everyone's jumped on this project. And please check it out if you haven't backed already. Please consider backing the project. One of my mods will stick the link in the chat for me. But so I'm going to show you this. So here's what I do. I will just create a new. I will create a new document. And I've got it where I set up for illustration. This is where I do like covers or, one-offs for people. But I've also got this set up where I can do a book. Okay. So it's a default comic. And here's what I do. My canvas width is 6.87 width by the height of 10.43. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My resolution is 600 dpi.
Yes.
The reason why I do 600 dpi this is at print size.
Mm-hmm.
It's like doing 300 dpi on a large artboard. Okay. So because what happens is normally you'll draw a large artboard traditionally, and that's like 11 by 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
11 by 17.
11 by 17, but once you do all the trim stuff, it's more like a 10 by 16 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a normal page size that you're working with traditionally. Then that gets scanned, and once that is scanned, you save that at 300 dpi, and your colorist works at that size, 300 dpi. Your letterist works at that size, 300 dpi, and then pre-press will shrink it down to the print size, right? So what I'm doing is I'm working at print size, but at 600 dpi, so double what I need, because it would normally be double the size at half the dpi.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm doing there. So you either have to make it bigger and with the 300 dpi or smaller with the 600. I do it this way because I like it this way. It works well. And so we work at 600 dpi for the comic book.
In this case, it's always better to have more than less. So if your computer can't handle the file sizes, get a proper video card.
Yes.
So you can work with no problem.
I'm using a MacBook Pro from like 2014 or 2015. No, it's newer than that. It might be 2016.
Yeah.
But it's a good. It handles it well. Okay.
Yeah.
So even with the tablet, as you can see with the camera, my tablet is hooked up here. This is a Ueon Canvas 20, and it is set up running into my laptop over here, and I'm streaming with my laptop.
I have a question.
Luke.
I have a question, Luke. Right now, like I tried the Hue 22, and it was too huge of a canvas for me. So I scaled it down to a 16, and that's my perfect size.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that's from artist to artist. Like, do you find advantages drawing in such a huge canvas?
Well, here I'll show you. I don't actually wind up drawing that big. I actually I don't wind up drawing that big, because what happens is I have all this extra space around me. So I've got my tools in front of me, as you can see already here on the left side of the screen. You see over here.
Yeah.
I've already got. I'm sorry, the right side of the screen. I've already got the my toolbars, so everything's there. I'm working on. I'm already losing on the physical screen.
Yeah.
That takes about 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
So I'm already losing about 2.5 inches on the screen. So that's what I'm working with right there. So but anyway, so I go down here, and then this has the comic settings. So this is where all the bleeds are in. All right. So I've got the width. So if you notice that the actual this is the bleed size, the whole canvas size that I'm working with. So the trim size is 6.63 by 10.19. So the canvas is larger than the actual cut size. So I have a cut line set up. That's where the trim is going to be. I have a slight bleed. So the printer has room for the trim, just in case it goes from one side or the other or whatever on the print. That bleed width is 0.12. So if you guys are taking notes,
1/8 of an inch. Yeah.
It's an 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Now I have an inner border. My default
and that's
border.
because back in the old days, those printing presses could slide around.
Yes.
You had to have that 1/8 of an inch. Nowadays, it's not so much, but you still want to have it.
Because in case if you go web press or something larger, if you're doing a big print run, you want that 1/8 of an inch safe. So that's the 1/8 of an inch bleed. And then I have a safe zone created, and it's a 1/4 inch inside of the bleed. So beyond the bleed, so we've got, so again, the canvas size is 6.87 by 10.43. The trim size is 6.63 by 10.19. I have an 1/8 inch bleed. Inside of the 1/8 inch bleed, I have a 1/4 inch safe zone. I don't put any frame, any panel outside of the safe zone. I don't put any lettering outside of the safe zone. Everything goes inside there. And
lettering
that
is.
sets me up.
Sorry to interrupt, Luke.
That's all right.
Lettering, especially because when you start doing thick bindings, you need that safe zone.
Yeah.
In order to be able to stay readable. Nothing detracts more to me when you're getting a large 100-page book or a large thick-bound trade that's a collection of 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 other originally floppy issues. I hate that word too, floppy.
Yeah.
I like floppies. It's funny.
And have the lettering creep towards the binding too far that you have to stretch it open in order to read it all.
Hey,
Nothing
Luke?
takes you out of a story faster, and that's definitely what you don't want the readers want to happen to your readers. Yeah.
Minor
So stay in the safe zone.
Minor production suggestion. Sorry, I just want to do this before I forget. Can you take Geek Avengers comment off so that people who are using Clip Studio can simply if you like the way Luke does stuff, screenshot the page
zoom in
and then shrink it down, and then you'll have, instead of having to write all these down or remember them, just come back to about the hour 50 mark in the video and screenshot it, folks, because that's what I'm planning to do.
And so
very cool.
So that's my setting right there. So those are my lines, and then Clip Studio allows me the opportunity to do multiple pages at once. And so I can type in whatever I want. So normally I do a 32-page book. So let's just do 32. The 32 interior. That's 33. 32. And so you have the view page by page or webtoon, okay? So you can either look at it like you would normally do a page next to each other, because I like to set them up to where I can see left to right when I'm pacing out doing my layouts. Or you can set it up to where it looks like a webtoon, if you're going to be making this the webtoon and then eventually taking it to print, but you want to release it on a webtoon first, you can do that. It all has all the tools right inside of the studio. And then you choose the binding. So right binding or left binding, and it starts from left or from right page, because you'll need to reverse those for American versus manga, okay? Manga is right binding, and it starts from left, okay? If you want to do a full reverse, you start from left. Or you start from right with right binding. But with American comics, the standard way that we read a book, it is left binding. Okay, so it binds on your left hand. And it starts from right. Okay, so page 1 is always on your right. You open it up, page 2, page 3. Okay, so that will give you a cover. All right, so that basically that is just your leaflets, and then you add the cover, which I go up here, and there's a click for add cover, and I add cover. I also work that at 600 DPI, and so, but normally I do the cover in a different file. It is a large file at 11 by 17, and then I just import the PNG to put it in for print, so that everything is print ready. And then there's cover page layout, and it shows 2 different ways to do that. You want the second option where it's the cover page, and then so there's a front and back cover. That's how we do it. That makes it easy for you to view it. You could do it the other way, but it's gonna make your file look a little wonky. So those are the settings, and then once I open it up, you'll see here real quick, it populates this thing. It takes a second because it's making all 32 files plus the 4 files for the covers. And so, almost done. Please wait a moment. And it'll pop up. So those are your print and bleed settings. If you're using those, they work out fine. I wonder why it's not popping up yet. Oh, here it is. There it is.
Oh, wow.
So it shows like this, and then you can open up. I'll just open up. Page 1 is a single page. You see how it populates this all this to the side. When I open page 3 and 4, or page 2 and 3, it puts them side by side, but you notice here in the middle, I'll just zoom in, it still has there's the canvas line in the middle. This is the 1/8 inch bleed. This is the 1/4 inch safe zone. inside the safe. That's safe zone. That's that 1/4 inch wall. So it puts it on both sides. If you want to do a 2-page spread, and here this is just specific to this, and then we'll move on to something else.
Oh, this is fascinating.
This is something that I learned recently that I really like. So if I wanted to do a 2-page spread here, what I do, let's just go down here to the bottom, and let's say I'm doing 2-page spread to end the book on 28 and 29. So it's 28 and 29, and I decided I want to do a spread, but this bleed in the middle, you got to take that bleed in the middle out. So that's 2/8 of an inch. That's a 1/4 inch right now in the middle, that the artwork would just be gone. And so for the printer, you've got to remove that. So I had the hardest time figuring out how to remove that. But if you left click and you go to split pages, click split pages, it says OK. It will then instead of showing those files together, it will show them separately like this. You have them both highlighted again. You left click again, and then you go to where is it at? Not duplicate. Where is it at? Oh, all right, so click on both of them. And click on that one, on the first one, and go to combine pages. And this will combine it. You can say what kind of gap you want in the middle. So you can still do this if you wanted to, you had 2 pages that were separate, but you want to see them together, see how they flow. You can combine them, but ask about the gap in the middle. The gap in the middle, I want 0. I don't want any gap between the trim lines because I don't want to make this a 2-page spread. If I wanted a gap, I would add a 1/4 inch. I'd add the 1/4 inch gap in there. But so you hit OK.
That's the 2/8 of an inches together.
Yeah, the 2/8 of an inches together. And so now I've got and it automatically creates the individual page things for you. I just delete those things because I don't like to work with that. I like to work a different method. But now I've got a 2-page spread with my trim lines and my cut lines and my bleed lines. So now I know what I'm working with.
Did Clip Studio Paint just accidentally become a better publisher than publisher?
It did. Oh yeah. And here's another cool thing.
I'm sorry.
Now when you go to your file, you can go to export multiple pages and export it as a PDF. So after you've got it set up, you can automatically export as a PDF to give your customers.
And with a snap, you have a print-ready file.
Yes.
Also.
Now I send all of my,
as well as a low res PDF to send out to.
Yeah. No, I have
Anybody.
and I just export all of the pages as TIFFs into a folder separately, so that they're all individual pages, and I give that to the printer because they usually import the pages into whatever software they use for their print machines to set up their print run. So I've bypassed InDesign altogether. So I have an InDesign that I don't even use anymore because Clip Studio has it all. Not sponsored by Clip Studio, but if you like,
hashtag yet.
If you like, come see me. I will sell this product for you.
You know what, Luke? 2 things on that. One, I think you need to seriously start when you get through to a lull between your projects. A course on Clip Studio where that's just what you're doing. Pre-recorded probably just because I love the chat, but this is one of those where stepping out of the chat might not be a bad idea. And then reach out to Clip Studio and say, hey, would you like to sponsor? Because I really think that because you sold it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They did move to subscription. That has got a lot of people upset.
Yeah.
I understand. I do like the subscription better.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, but I don't. I didn't like having to buy a new version.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The thing is, like, when you buy a new version, you have the choice to stay with the old one. With subscription, you're a crack addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like that relationship.
I don't like to rent programs. That's how I feel about it.
Well, here's what you guys don't understand. You can actually, once you've stopped the subscription, you can still keep using the software.
Exactly. That would be cool.
No,
with
you
Adobe,
can't.
it's like.
No, Adobe works the same way because I have a subscription. I have Adobe 2022. I don't use it. I use an old version.
Yeah.
I use 2020. because that's what I used before I fell asleep. You know, and now I'm using 2022, and I don't like it, so I keep going back to use the other one. So I still have multiple versions of Photoshop on my computer.
Yeah.
Clip Studio, if I cancel my subscription, I can still use Clip Studio. I just can't get any new versions of Clip Studio. I can't access any of the special things that they offer with that. I can still keep using it because I used it on my iPad without a subscription. I just downloaded and bought it and used it, and I could still, so yeah.
Would you guys be interested in see what I'm working on right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we're setting this campaign for March, so right now we're in the preliminary like design sketches, and I don't know, I'm having fun with it. So I sincerely hope when it comes out, you guys have fun with it too.
Oh my god,
that is really cool, dude. So here's the deal. There's a lot of work that goes into making a comic, but most of you are learning that the whole preliminary steps of concept art, getting, finding artists. I know Justin is working on this now, like the whole trying to find a creative team that works well together. All of those things can be very complicated. Then once you got that together, then it's this. Let's get ready. You're doing stuff for release in March.
Yeah, for release in March, and yeah, we're on concept design. So the project is called Waifus and Kaijus. Yes, and it's just basically hot chicks driving robots fighting kaijus from outer space.
Yeah,
and like it's very international. So we're doing something that maybe may sound like it's an SJW project, but it's not. It's just like the world came together to defend against the alien menace. So there's like a Korean pilot, there's an American pilot, and an Irish
it's
pilot.
It's waifus, man. You're gonna get a built-in audience right there. I'm telling you.
Okay, this is a great thing to point out. It's not SJW because you're doing it for it makes sense in the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like I read whatever when the story makes sense of the plot. What it's like, we're gonna ram this in because we want to hit check marks on some list. And the other thing you're going is, what kind of women do you find attractive? And
Right. Yeah. Choose your poison.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
And then they drive this robots called Valiant Angels, and
love me
basically, it's just like full mecha. Like it's a combination between Super Robot and Real Robot, like era from the 80s and 90s. So it would be like a combination between Gaiking and Gundam.
Yes, I could totally see it. I dig the designs.
Yeah, I like the designs a lot.
So this is the Korean robot, and this is the American robot. But preliminary, if you see, I've already up to concept 41.
Wow.
With everything. Okay, so this is like the cockpit. How they drive the robot. So basically, they have like a LED display that's a sphere, and they basically move. It's not like levers and and joysticks.
They move to control it. Okay.
I dig it.
And okay, this is the tech support robot. Everybody loves monkeys.
Okay, he's my hero right now. I love this.
I like him a lot.
Looks good.
And I like the consistency between his helmet and the others. There's really good design consistency. That's one of the things I get. A lot of people who are starting. Oh, mono bikes. Are you trying to hit my crack? I mean,
yeah, dude.
Oh man, it looks cool.
Yeah, that's how they hop into the robot. So basically, they jump in this bike, and they will, the whole elaborate thing in
like
robot.
It's like those old shows, so
like
it's a whole process.
Voltron. Yeah. Yes. I am all. Oh, you're on the show, right? You know when this launches, you're coming here.
Yeah. This is the Spanish pilot, Silvestre Villaverde, and he drives. His robot is called Cervantes el Toro, which is
heck yes.
Oh, neat.
So it's a bull that fights like a bullfighter. That's an inside joke for me. I mean, I hate bullfighting like everything, but wouldn't it be funny that you have a bull that fights with a cape and a sword?
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
I'm right here for it.
And you got this. Oh, this is the other American robot called Iron Mike. So it's a boxer.
Oh, neat.
Nice. And I love the barrel chest physics. Yes. That,
And
you
this
know,
is the
a
pilot.
big dude who actually looks like a big dude. You know what I mean?
And this is the pilot, Tyrese Watson. So it's like they're all chosen by their physicality. So I don't know, like
Yeah, I get it. No, this is
these are like the aliens that bring the technology to Earth. Like the story is very complicated. And I don't want to dive too much into it because
No,
like their reveals are amazing. But these aliens are like refugees from a destroyed planet that come to Earth and give Earth the technology for them to prepare. So what happened to their planet won't happen to Earth.
awesome.
Okay.
Looks really good.
It does. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm
Yeah.
totally
It's gonna be
here for
super
it.
exciting, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Oh, there you
so-
go. I didn't know I was in the book.
Yeah. No, this is basically like there's a league. So basically, like who's gonna defend the Earth first? Because there's this whole plan to wait for the threat outside of Earth. So there's like this tournament between robots to see who will go on the mission. So this is one of the commentators of the like a sports arena.
Right.
It's like
Okay,
him and Joe,
all right.
him and Joe Rogan. Like I have Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they
It
got Joe
looks like
Rogan.
just like Joe Rogan.
There you go. Yeah.
Look at that barrel neck. Look at that thick neck.
Yeah, dude, and dude, like the backstory, like Ginge is writing this story. Like Tropical Magic Side wrote it and Ginge edited, but Ginge is writing this, dude, and he's doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
So this is the Japanese robot here. So you see that there's a lot of work that goes between, because dude, you gotta build the world, and then I allow Ginge to write the story. You know what I mean? Because that's the job of the world. But I want to give him like as much reference and make the world as rich as possible, so we can have like meat, you know, to get into. Oh, let me see. Okay, these are the trainers. This is like the trainer from Ireland.
I'm a little bit of the short, thick chicks. Thank you. As someone who
Yeah.
appreciates short, thick chicks, I like to
Exactly.
see short, thick chick representation. And if that offends anybody, I'm okay with that.
Dude, yeah, this is the trainer from America, Lieutenant Eugene Harris. He's like an A-10 Warthog pilot that took part in the first battle against the aliens when they came. So that's how he lost the arm, and he's like and you see he's the first last name. His daughter is the pilot of the American robot. So there's
Awesome.
And he's got a metallic arm, so he's been
Yeah.
through some shit. Oh,
Yeah,
excuse me, some stuff. Yeah.
yeah, he lost it. Okay, this is the robot from India,
Sweet.
and called Rama in the
Yes.
Mama.
the pilot. Oh, wait, the pilot
I love
here.
the origin materials you're reaching for too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah, and
that's a great character design.
Yeah.
Right there.
Real nice. Yeah.
Stanvi Gupta is the pilot from India. And it's like my favorite character is the Chinese pilot. Even though China is not like, this is the Chinese pilot. This guy is a dick. And he calls himself this. He's handsome Tian Yu. And
That's his nickname. He gave
All I
himself
can
that
see
nickname.
is it's Chinese fat beans, and I'm here.
yeah, dude.
I like it, man. I'm on board with it.
No, this
Yeah,
is awesome.
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, dude. Let me check. I'm looking for the Chinese robot somewhere. around
Looks like
here.
so much fun.
Yeah.
There was.
This is robot Zhong Zhangji. So basically, when everybody like takes notes from Journey to the West, it's always like Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
Yeah.
So I just grabbed Pig, like the pig god,
Yes.
and that's like the inspiration for the robot from China.
Oh, that's hitting my jam.
Yeah,
Oh god.
and
Great stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, dude. And so this is the threat right here.
Yes, it is.
So it's a techno-organic sentient rock
Oh,
Okay.
that will interpret the DNA of the planet is invading. So we basically will use the life forms from the planet, and we create like a replica in that material of that, and that's how the kaijus are formed.
Okay.
So they would be fighting like giant tigers, giant bears made out of rock. In the let me see, at the back guy, right? And this is the guy who pilots the
Those are cool looking.
the ship.
Cool
So, yeah, so
looking,
it's like embedded into the, like if you see here, he's like embedded
Oh, neat.
into the
So
rock.
shapy and
Dude, this stuff looks
Yeah.
really cool, man. I'm looking
It
forward
does.
to
It does. Yeah.
and that is like nothing we see anywhere else. That's one thing I love about the independent stuff. There was one called The Defender that went by. I'm a complete mecha slut. I will admit that freely. And I thought that looked incredibly gorgeous.
So let me just get this. I'm just starting the coloring here, so.
Okay. Okay, I might have an instant spicy take, but I think I like the grayscale.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean? I'm not just that's no not that the coloring wasn't great, but because you can really, it just makes the line work better. And,
Yeah, no, the color. I'm just starting the coloring on this one. That's why it was all like muddy.
right.
But yeah,
Please don't take that as a negative at all.
No,
It's
at
just-
all, not at all, dude. It's really hard to insult me. Don't worry. So right.
We'll
right
work
here,
on it, you sad spoon.
So you see here, like there's like warthogs. So basically, the armies of the world will fight alongside the robots.
That looks very cool. Well, hey, I want to get to Joe's question before we keep going too much further here. He's asking about lettering Clip Studio. I'm actually very versed in it. I've actually lettered the last 7 books that I've lettered have been in Clip Studio. I have Illustrator and I have Photoshop, and I've lettered in both of those. And Clip Studio is 1,000 times easier and faster. You set up your tools one time, and you set your defaults. And so I can actually go between my narration boxes, my normal bubbles, my pen that I use to do the weird bubbles for Body Bag and some of the other characters I've got. You can set up fonts and save the preset that's specifically for a character. Like every time I do Trash Man's, it's time to take out the trash. The first time we didn't do it, and then we did that because he accidentally found it, right? But later on, it became his thing that he says, right? So then I added a different font, and there's a different bubble for it, so that every time he says it, it's like his catchphrase, right? So we work it in. And so I have all of that preset, and so I can letter a book. I lettered book 5 and 6, relettered them hand typed. I didn't even have the copy and paste option. I relettered all of them, both of them in a day each. So
yeah, and that's so important, because nothing screams amateur more than like generic lettering.
Yeah.
And if you find the tools to make it like more streamlined and make it look professional, go for it.
I can do a video sometime on how to letter in that, just the basic tools and how to get a couple of things that I use for presets. But honestly, for basic lettering information, check out Eric Weathers' YouTube. He's got some great information and things that he uses. I'm not sure. I think he probably uses Illustrator.
He's an Illustrator. He's an Illustrator guy.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Like you pick your tool, get proficient at it, and dude, you'll do amazing work.
I used Photoshop. I had everything saved in Photoshop for a while because I didn't want to move to another piece of software just to do the lettering. And that's why I like something that's integrated where I can use one piece of software for everything. I'm getting better at coloring with Clip Studio. I wasn't very good at it at first. I didn't understand the tools as much, and I understand them a lot better now. So I've got things set up the way I like it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like for example, I have a completely different approach because I believe in like special tools for everything. So I learned softwares because, for example, Illustrator is way more versatile with vector-based art than Photoshop. Even though you can do vector in Photoshop, I think you have more leeway to experiment in Illustrator. So when I do vectors, I go to Illustrator right away. But I mean, that can get expensive, right? So, dude, if you can do everything in clip, dude, go for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Everything in clip right now.
Yeah, complete advocate. So, okay, before I close this, everything, like this is a seedling, and this is what shoots out of the gargantuan ship I showed you, and that sphere will interpret the DNA of whatever it encounters, and will turn it into a kaiju. So,
Oof.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
I'm
Nick
very
and I are
excited.
working
dude.
on Paul Bunyan versus kaiju.
I know
Nice.
this
That's gonna be a fun little story that we.
You're doing that. I do. I also do Big Stompy Robots, which is a mixed unit mecha, and there's some other vaguely biological elements coming in. I love this. This is like I get to say bailiwick again because this is right where I want to be in life, right here. I love everything about it. Great character design, great vehicle design, the lore. I'm ready to see the series. I'm ready to be like, no, just Pedro, send me the DVD. I want to sit down and watch. Like, you know, we need to get like a completely over the top blasting opening fight music stuff. And like,
dude, I'm making the music for this. Like, I'm taking the inspiration from like old mecha anime, but mixed it with a little bit of Pantera.
Yeah.
So the trailer is gonna be like an all-out like Thundercat style intro.
Oh, I need you to do me I need you to do me an easy animation.
We talk about that.
Yeah, I need you to do me something. Yeah, I'm gonna. We'll talk right after this because we've been at this for 2 hours 15 minutes. Got a lot going on, and Zim and I have to get ready. We've got work to do. We got to pack. We got to pack up the cars. I still have to go pick up some prints. I forgot that I needed a little extra issue 7s. So I'm actually, as we've been talking, I've been messaging the printer. So it's funny. That's the thing. Making comics is a lot harder than you realize, and it takes up time. And there's all those things and this pre-press stuff. Hopefully the information has been useful, guys. Let me know if you like those kind of tutorial things on this. Let me know. I'll make some shorter videos where I'm just going through and showing how to set up. Just showing how to set up a file for print, for comics, and I'll go through what I did today, but do it in a more entertaining way. I'll show you how to set up for lettering. I'll show you how to set up for doing logo design, how you can use vector, because I use vector a lot when I draw, but I also like to draw like I'm drawing raster. Clip Studio has the ability to do, you draw like it's raster, but it's vector. And so you're actually drawing vector. It turns your lines vector. And it's so cool because I did a logo for someone and they wanted some lines changed. So instead of having to redraw the lines, I just went in and changed them like you would in Illustrator. I just went in and nudged them around with the points. So tremendous tools. I can show you guys how to do those things, and if that's what you want. And so I'll definitely
I'm gonna say it.
Show you.
I know the chat's probably. I'll be honest. This is one of the rare times where I went full screen so I could actually look real close, because usually I have it because it's my job to monitor the chat. But Pedro hit all my like crack buttons at once. I'm like, because like Venus Wars. Now I gotta go find my copy of Venus Wars.
Dude, Venus Wars was awesome.
That's like.
I also have a method for flatting that will like take that literally in seconds. You can flat an entire image.
Oh, you know what, Nick?
Just because you said not minutes, seconds.
Yeah. Just because you said Venus Wars, I have a little bit of like tickling thing. The Battle of Europa.
Yes.
That's part of the book. The Battle of Europa. So it's.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh God!
So Pedro, that's what you're
doing. What you are saying? You speak my language, sir.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Pedro, tell them where they can find you. Give them any last little.
Oh yeah, dude. You can find me on the Twitters, now owned by Elon Musk. Yeah.
Yes.
At Angela, and dude, hit me up if you need like animation work. I don't know. I don't get that many commissions. I feel kind of left out in that regard, but whatever. If you need animation work, hit me up on Twitter. Look for me at Nguila with an Nguila. And yeah, dude, be on the lookout for Waifus and Kaijus. we're working on the logo right now. The logo you saw right there, it's like a placeholder, but we're getting Anthony Gambino to work on it. So we're gonna be ready for the. I mean, we're gonna launch the sign up page, I think, in November. So, dude, be on the lookout. Waifus and Kajus, the new project by Creative Monkey Farm, and we're planning to do Tropical Magics 2 after that. We're gonna do a second chance Tropical Magics within the Waifus and Kaiju's campaign. If you guys missed the book, so yeah, dude, cheers, and keep on drawing, guys. We can all do this.
Yes, we can. Zim, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the Indie Comics Network. We're archived over there. I do the Zimcast on Wednesday nights, which is probably going to be moving to 10 p.m. Then Comics by Nights on Friday morning, where we talk about the nuts and bolts. We do instructionals over there early in the morning for some, late in the evening for others. Comics by Night, it's on at 5 a.m. on Fridays. Then Sunday mornings, we do the Sunday Funnies, where we talk about the comics and the things that we love, the stuff that really inspires us to keep doing the work that we do. That's Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. over on the Indie Comics Network. I also have a series of instructional cartooning videos where I'm teaching cartooning basics, and how to draw characters over there using basic shapes. It's a way that I draw. The way I learned to draw is by just throwing circles and curved lines together and turning them into characters. And you'd be surprised how easy it is to do with a pencil, piece of paper, a good eraser, and a little bit of patience.
Yep.
The key is not to get frustrated. And the real key in producing comics is to do the work and to figure it out. Everybody has their own methods. Everybody has their own ways. And that's part of the fun of doing it. It's art. That's what. We were talking about going through the proper channels. There are no proper channels. You're doing art. Do your channel. That's what you need to do.
You do you. Find a community that will support you in that and help you along the way. Yeah. I'm so happy that you found this community right here, the Bacon Nation, because we are here to help you elevate your talent and your creativity. So definitely hop in the chats. Find us on Twitter and places like that. We are all here to help you along in your journey. Yeah, you do you, guys. You do you. Nick, tell them where they can find you, buddy.
Well, you can find me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the Nicholas Tuckert channel doing Nevermind the Furthermore, where I take authors, creators, a group a lot like this, but with more authors in it. And we do something very similar. We build each other up. We talk about what we're doing, what's on our minds. Just a good way to start the day. On Friday nights, so that is tomorrow night, I will be on the Historical Fencing Guild channel, where we talk about how to sword fight, and other martial arts related things. It all overlaps. And most importantly for my broadcasts, I'll be right here next Thursday doing this at 9 a.m. Now, if you want to find my works, my published works are mostly through Amazon at amazon.com/Nicholas Tuckert. You can find me at my artwork at deviantart.com/NickT. I've been there for 18 years now. And let's see. And boy, this wonderful game called Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, the quick role-playing game, the Quick Play Edition, is available through LukeStoneStudios.com, where you can get that. It will be the home of Out of Obscurity, which will include the introduction to Paul Bunyan Kaiju Slayer. And at some point, I will stop switching between saying Hunter and Slayer. As soon as it gets written down, I will stop that. But I know I flip it. Somebody called me on that. And the Hybrids game is coming, guys. I know we can't talk about it as much, but that's coming out. I have several new books coming out. I'm
literally waiting on the cover for that, Nick. The artist that I had working on it, I gave a prompt, and they came back with Marvel characters on the cover. I said, that's not what I said a generic. I gave them references for a generic humanoid character. I said, this is what it needs to look like. Just something, generic. It can't be connected to anything. It's for a role-playing game. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, so
That
and it's in the
happens.
wrong format, and it's in the completely wrong format. It's not even the right size that I need for the for printing. It's like everything about it is absolutely wrong, and so I'm like, yeah. That's,
So, folks, if you think you can do better, contact Luke. I mean, I hate to put it that way. I'm not bashing anybody, but if they can't do the job, and you
Really?
think
No,
you can, reach out to Luke, because the
Yeah.
Out of Obscurity project is something I'm really proud to be part of. I think it's a great concept where a whole bunch of public domain characters are being revisited, revitalized, brought forward by some of the best independent creators in the field. And it's really a project of love, you know, a love for making comics, a love for making fun comics. This might shock you, but not everything has to be Frank Miller gritty, you know, political commentary. But
a very good story, written by Critical Blast's very own RJ. Very good stuff. Yeah. Check that out. I'm Luke Stone, one of your hosts here today. You can find all of the stuff you need to know about me at lukestonestudios.com. Definitely check that out. We have a link to Rift Riders over there. So close to hitting the 10,000 mark, the 10K mark. We have a few days left on that. Please check that out. We do appreciate that. If you're in the Bowling Green area this weekend, come check out Zem and I, and you'll see Justin there too.
And on the off chance, if you're in the central Indiana area, and you can make it to lovely Fowler, Indiana, we will be at the Benton County Public Library, that being me and a bunch of the Nevermorians, for Nevermind. For FezCon from 10 till 2.
That's the cool thing. Moms don't give a damn about anything.
No, they don't.
And I'll be selling the books I have, and I'll be doing custom art on site like I usually do. Probably running some big stompy robots and people. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
And it's free to attend. So if you can't make Bowling Green because of gas, try.
Yeah. Try to make one of them, and we'll keep the schedule of conventions that I'm on is that I'm doing is on my website, so definitely check that out, lukestonestudios.com. Sign up for the mailing list. You don't have time to read emails. I don't have time to write them, so they come far, few, and in between, and they're normally short and to the point. So check that out. Remember, try to build up more than you tear down. Leave the wood pile higher than you found it.
I have to say one thing before we go, Luke.
Sure.
I have to say one thing. For the record, guys, my mom lives with me. I don't live with my mom. Okay?
Sure, yeah, right.
Just for the record.
Whatever. We understand how it is.
Okay.
No, yeah, right, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
You take care of family.
Frame it however you need to make you feel better about it.
They're going to give you stuff. My attitude is you're taking care of family. It makes me respect you more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Of course,
your mom lives with you.
My mom needs to live closer to the hospital, so that's why she's living with me. And yeah,
that's
my dad lives.
That's admirable.
My dad lives that's her house, but they live like 20 miles away.
Yeah,
but they're in the middle of nowhere, and he has medical problems. So when I moved, it's like, hey, you're coming with me.
Stay with us.
Yeah,
come stay with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally understand that.
Yeah,
but we are going to give you a hard time about being a freelance artist that
I know. Lives with his mom.
That lives with his mom and works in his kitchen.
This is not a basement.
This is not a kitchen. It's not a basement. It's a kitchen.
This is a basement.
He's a
Zim actually does work in a basement.
I'm happy to say this is a basement. Yes.
This is
See
a
the
spare
old
bedroom.
rafters overhead. Yeah.
This is a spare bedroom that I've converted to an office. You can see all my racks back here.
Yeah.
This is so I can put books in. I can
rack,
right? I can put books in there, and then I can. You can see I still got a pile of books boxes I've got to open back there. I've got my 3D printers back here.
Storage right now, man.
I got my 3D printers back here, so I can print awesome things for my backers.
Nice.
And then I've got what you can't see is my collection of lightsabers that I've got all over the office.
Oh,
So,
dude,
yeah.
that's a sore reminder.
I'm a big nerd. I'm just a big nerd.
Yeah.
Big nerd.
No, but it's a sore reminder of a dead IP. You know, like seeing the lightsabers will bring tears to my eyes. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Look at that.
Everyone.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Nick, are there techniques to use the maul?
Yes.
Like the two-handed, or is it just like brute force? I don't know. Like I'm obsessed.
No,
with
no,
it.
like a splitting maul, like the same the axe that made love to a sledgehammer and produced this beautiful thing that's called. Yeah, that was actually the first weapon I really trained in because I earned my first car by splitting wood for 25 cents an hour. And
you've got to meet my.
That's why,
friend
like,
Brian.
I'm short and there's not a lot there, but there's strength people don't expect because that's literally how I did it. So I went for a long time in my life everywhere with the splitting maul, and it's like I'm martial minded, so I looked
Wait a
up
second,
how to
you
fight,
carried around
what
a
to make
weapon
that
for
go.
protection?
Yeah. Well, we had a coyote problem. We had coyote problems, and then we had some of our neighbors were in the import-export business of vegetation. They had a couple acres in the middle of the farm that was not corn, and then they had their own private.
There's more than corn in it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding.
That's business. Yeah.
When they found out, the good sheriffs of LaPorte County at the time burnt the whole field because it was the only thing they could do with 5 acres. We had deer stumbling into the house because it was on the edge, and we lived in the bottom of the valley, and the smoke sort of rolled down into the valley, and it basically the birds fell out of the tree. Yeah.
Baked. Everybody baked. Everybody's like,
so yeah, there was a while there where
I could use some Funyuns right now. I need Taco Bell. Taco Bell, they ran out of food that day.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, we literally had deer trying to come in the house and just like wandering around and birds falling out of the sky.
High. Just baked.
Just
baked out of their minds.
The whole neighborhood was interesting.
Because the only thing better than Indiana corn is Indiana weed.
Exactly. Ooh.
Yeah.
That wasn't
she grew up with the Indiana boys on the Indiana Nights.
That was many years ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started training. The first weapon I carried for self-defense was a splitting maul.
Oh, dude. You said like we had a coyote problem, and I pictured you killing coyotes with a maul.
I did take out a snowmobiler with a splitting maul. So
nice.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway. Try to build up more than you tear down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Try to leave the wood pile.
I split the wood for the wood pile. I paid my dues.
He's playing his part. Leave the wood pile a little bit higher than you found it. And by all means, please be careful out there. See you guys.
Take care.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see a 211, half a dozen 459, 2 ADWs, a GTA, and several miscellaneous crimes.